Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, so let's wait for a couple of minutes. Cause you know, 'di ba? Akala ko 5 minutes, tatagal ako ng 5 minutes eh. All right. Where is my lovely, lovely moderator? Ay, patay tayo dyan, Mark Segi. Dinistract nyo na naman ha, Mark Segi. Kayo talaga ang sisisihin ko ni Valiant ha. Okay, so any questions from our previous discussion before we continue on with the Clinical Laboratory Act of 1966? Ariane, do you have any questions? You look like you have a lot of questions. No? No questions? All right. Why are you so beautiful? Oh, girl, stop. Girl, stop. I know I am. Charet! Ganun yung mga tanungan, no? Okay. So, if we don't have any more questions, I guess it's time for us to continue. Okay. So, oh wait, I will be asking questions pala for a while. Who here has worked in a laboratory that is not part of their internship? Because right now, people are working, especially nung pandemic. Who here has worked in a clinical lab? Or have been associated to working in a clinical lab before? Gracie, ayan. Gusto ko marinig ang ang mga experiences mo, Gracie. Gracie, what was your job description?
Ano po, laboratory aid po.
Laboratory aid. And what does a laboratory aid do? Give us a brief background.
Nag-a-assist po ng medco.
Nag-assist. Okay. So, kasama ba dun sa work mo is yung maghugas ng test tube? Or wala nang ganun,
Yes,
disposable na?
disposable naman po.
Okay. Laboratory aid, or can we call you a laboratory assistant?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you were parang nasa husgado tayo, no? Grabe ako magtanong, no? Napansin, grabe ako magtanong, no? Hoy, hindi ka makukulong dito, hoy. Chill ka lang. Tinitingnan ko lang kung nakapagtrabaho ka na ng lab. Ikaw naman, chill ka lang, parang nasa husgado, no? Kala mo ako yung no, yung criminal justice lawyer. Charing lang. Okay, so nag-work ka sa is this still your current profession, or no, not anymore because you're working full time na as a student?
Ano, ano po, part-time pa dito kasi wala pa rin naman po ako internship.
Okay. Okay. So,
Saan po?
you're very lucky, by the way, Gracie. Thank you for sharing with the class what you're. Do you have to report to a medtech, or what do you think was your so aside sa yun nga, disposable ang nyo, what's the difference between your job description versus that of somebody who's an RMT? Ano sa tingin mo yung ano?
Ano po, hindi pa po ako nakapagbasa ng microscope kasi wala pa po akong license.
So hindi ka pwedeng humawak ng microscope, 'di ba? Yun pa lang, no. Nakakatingin ka, yes, you have the know-how, but because without the license, you're not allowed, right? You're not signed off, 'di ba? Yung ganon.
Yes po.
Okay. So, but you process samples also, or no? Just the
Yes po, mga CBC po.
okay. Okay, klaro na sa akin. Okay. All right. Thank you, Gracie. You may sit down and the bench. Charing! Kala mo talaga nasa husgado. Charing lang. Inaalam ko lang. Kayo na. Ikaw naman, Gracie. Thank you, Gracie. So, nakita nyo yun. Meron pa rin tayong batas. Kahit hindi ganun kahigpit ang batas natin, no? In fairness, meron pa rin tayong batas. Gracie knows that Gracie knows that she has to work with a specific designation, and an RMT knows that having a license not only means that you won't pass the exams, but you are responsible for somebody's life, 'di ba? Nakita niyo yung difference. Right now, Gracie could at the moment, because Gracie is working as a part-time lab aide, if she made a mistake, she would not be held liable, correct? Right? If she made a mistake, like for example, you run a clotted sample, and the sample was released. Theoretically lang, I know you're not. I don't know how you guys work in the laboratory, but theoretically, if Gracie released a result right now that is erroneous, that could have cost the person's life, the liability still goes to whomever Gracie is working under, right? Mabait naman yung mga medtech na nagtuturo sa'yo or mga kasama mo ng mga medtech. Hindi ka naman inaawa, hindi ka naman inaalipusta or anything.
Hindi na.
Mabait naman. In fairness naman sa mga medtech, no? Medyo masyunda na. Feeling ko, like yung mga hospital kasi ng mga
Ano po,
bagets.
sa 20s din po kasi limit lang naman.
Oh, di ba? Mga bagets. So, pag mga ano, yung mga masyunda yan, karamihan dyan, puro mga lab aid, madaming lab aid. Above and beyond yung trabaho mo, Gracie. Kaya you're lucky you're working with people who are of the same age. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hopefully naman no, by next year, Gracie, hindi na tayo magkikita dito sa klase na to, no. Hopefully naman, no. Wala tayong makikita na ano. Hindi ka mai-issuehan ng ibang klaseng license signed by Dean Marco Flores of CMMC, no. Wala naman tayong makukuhang ano, kakaibang license na ang pangalan Suki card. Ha, wala, no. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your job. Okay, so let me tell you guys a story here in the United States. Similar to majority of my coworkers actually are lab assistants. Because I work in the second shift. Lab assistant, lab aides doesn't matter. We call it here lab aides or lab assistant rather. And they usually graduated high school, and some of them are taking up classes at the community college so that they can enter the MLS program. Pag sinabing MLS program, yun yung puro mga major subjects they take up mo. Okay? And then dyan na yung papasok yung mga immunology, serology, tapos depende kung anong gusto mong maging mag-focus on, that's the time that you choose. Para ka nagmanggagamot, kumbaga. Parang ganon. Like, when you take up medicine, you take up all the subjects in medicine, and then during your clerkship or third year, you're starting to get a sense of what kind of doctor you want to be. Here in the United States, it's almost the same. You get a sense of what you want to be. That's the reason why I wanted to teach you guys histopathology, the American version, the way that they teach it to you guys, the way that they teach it here, because it's extremely different. It's polarizing, kumbaga. It's a polarizing experience. It was like a 4-week course that I took, histopathology and cytopathology, under the university, and I'm thankful to have attended it, and I'm thankful, and I am hoping that I could share a lot of it with you guys the next meeting, because this is the time right now, whilst you're studying right now, this is the time where you get to decide what kind of medtech you want to be. Do you want to work in a clinic, just like what Gracie's peers want to be, or do you want to work in a big hospital and lead the hospital, or migrate somewhere else? 'Di ba? Yun yung mga ano. And I know majority of you will find the way. Will find some bitterness when you see the harsh realities outside of the classroom. Like many of my peers before, and many of the medtechs before you. Okay? So, right now, one of the things that keeps inspiring me to teach you guys is because of the laboratory, because of the practice of medical technology. Okay? Kaya kahit na 9 o'clock na dito, lagi ako nagtuturo. And thank you for also listening, even though sometimes binubuli ko kayo. All right. Now, 1966 was the time when the Clinical Laboratory Act was it was promulgated. It took a lot of time, guys. Have you noticed before the actual practice of medical technology was officiated? Diba? It's so tagal, right? How many years? 3 taon.
Pero yung stream niyo po, hindi pa po ata nakastart.
Ha? Chill ka lang, hindi pa ako nag-i-start. Ano ba? Over naman to si Mark Sege. Ito na ang aking liko na oh. Ayan na. Charing lang. But thank you for informing me. Oo, munti ko nang makalimutan. Munti ko na din makalimutan. But anyways, 1966. Ang tagal no, 9 years after saka lang nagkaroon ng actual practice ng naging official ang profession ng mga medtech. Which can you believe it, guys? 'Di ba? Kailangan pa madali ng mga Amerikano dito. Kailangan pang maipasa batas bago talaga naging official ang medtechs, 'di ba? So, this laboratory act is I'm sorry. This law was enacted for the purpose of understanding what the clinical laboratory is for. Okay? So meron din siyang scope and amendments and everything, and we'll go with that one at the most important ones. Yung mga tinatanong lang sa board exams. So, one thing that you need to remember, next slide. One thing that you need to remember is the Republic Act number of this one. 1960 Clinical Laboratory or CLA Lab Act or CLA Act of 1966 is also known as RA 4688. Kung meron man kayong tatandaan RA 5527 at RA 4688, meron na kayong 2 points sa board exam ninyo. Okay? Meron na din kayong 2 points dito sa exam ko. Okay? Kung meron kayong tatandaan yan ng dalawang yan. Okay? Bonus na natin kung baka itanong ko yung blood banking law. Pero wala. Malay nyo, I don't know. Girl, I don't know. Maybe not. Diba? Mga ganun lang. Chill lang tayo. Okay? Alright. So, the date that was promulgated, you also have to remember this one. Huwag nyo kakalimutan, 3 taon lang ang mas matanda lang siya ng 3 taon, and it's on the same month and minus 2 days, 'di ba? Oh, lalo kayong nalito. The date when dapat yan? Medyo inaantok na siguro yung ano ko. It was promulgated 6/18/1966 or June 18, 1966. Okay? Huwag kakalimutan, 'di ba? 3 araw lang. 3 araw lang yung inano niya, 'di ba? 21 kasi 'di ba? 6/21/1969, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Meron na kayong mnemonic, naalala niyo na ha. Wala na kayong dapat pang pagkaanuhan. Isulat niyo na sa post-it note 'yan, ikabit niyo na sa banyo niyo until matapos ang board exam ninyo, okay? Para meron na kayong 2 points sa board exam niyo. Hindi na kayo masi 0% sa board exam niyo niyan. Promise. Okay. Now, let's talk about AO. What does AO stand for, by the way? Ano yan? Associates order ba yan? Ano yung AO na yan? What does AO muna mean? Para before tayong ano. Sige, Mel. Pakitaan mo sila, Mel. Administrative order. So, sino ang nag-issue niyan? Congress, Senate, or the President? Administrative order. Oh. The President. It's actually the President. Okay. So, administrative order. Pero an administrative order could be issued by the Senate, but this particular one was issued by the President. Okay? Pwede ba yun, sir? Yes, pwede. Pero pwede siyang pag ang Senate ang nag-issue ng administrative order, pwede siyang i-veto ng President. Gets nyo? When you say veto, pwedeng nope, change it. Give me a better version. Parang ganun. Okay? Hay, ano ba yan? Sumasabat si Siri. Hay, ano ba yan? Sumasabat sa lecture. Alright, anyways. Okay, so, so what does AO stand for? AO 2007-0027 is what? It is the revised rules and regulations for the registration of clinical laboratories. So, siya lang ang may kinalaman sa registration ng clinical laboratories. Ito yung important. AO, another important number that you need to remember. It was what? Promulgated in 2017, 8/22/2007. Okay? 2007 naman siya. Okay? I can't give you the mnemonic kasi naubusan na ng wittiness. Medyo inaantok na and the blood sugar is high. But the Administrative Order 2007-0027 is still the law that requires that requires anybody who wants to own a clinical laboratory to to not force them, but more on it mandates the nation to ask for registration and licensing. So registration, sir, anong pinagkaiba ng registration and licensing, sir? Registration, nakalista lang siya. Okay? Parang sa census, 'di ba? Licensing, can I operate? 'Di ba? Mga ganon. So registration means I could have Gracie Gas Laboratories, but is it functional? No, not yet. 'Di ba? You require licensing. Can I have a license but not a registration? No. One of the most important things that you need to have is a registration first. You have to register it as a business, 'di ba? Or as a non-profit, depende kung anong gusto mo, 'di ba? Kung gusto mo maging Gracie Hana Labs for blood and blood products, you can register it as a what? As a affiliate of the Red Cross. 'Di ba? Kasi yun lang yung mga alam ko na ano. Yun lang ang alam ko in my humble and limited knowledge of the law. Yun lang ang alam kong pwedeng maging non-profit mo, Gracie Hana, kung gusto mo or gas laboratories, 'di ba? The gas laboratories. Parang nakakatakot. Gawin naman natin Diosio Gas Laboratory. 'Di ba? Nakakaloka si Patrick kasama sa usapan. Syempre nakiki-stockholder ka, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Mas maganda maging stockholder, hindi ka mamomroblema. Si Gracie Hana yung pagproblemahin mo diyan sa paperwork and everything, 'di ba? Magbigay ka lang ng pera. Ayan ang 200 million. Oh. Gumawa ka ng laboratory ngayon. Oh. Pero pwede na ba mag-function ang laboratory? Hindi, kasi under AO 2007-0027 kailangan pa din ng registration and licensing. Okay? Clear? Hindi ka basta-basta pwede magpatayo, Gracie, ha? Okay? Now, let's talk about something else. Under the Clinical Laboratory Act 1966, there is a governing body. I think the governing body is the next slide, right, Moyo? Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. So the governing body that regulates all clinical laboratories in the Philippines is the BHFS. Ano naman yung BHFS na yan, sir? The Bureau of Health Facilities and Services. Okay? Bureau. So, maski ospital yan, maski maliit lang na clinic yan, kailangan mong magpasa ng registration mo dito. Okay? Dito ka lalapit, Gracie. Okay? Si Patrick, wala yan. Magbigay lang ng pera sa'yo yan. Yan lang ang magpondo sa'yo. Okay? Alright. Clear ba? Say for example, mag-extend yung functions ng laboratory mo into with radiological services. Dadaan pa rin ba siya sa BHFS? Yes. Okay? Another license din po ba yun? Yes. Okay? Kasi iba ang requirements by law ng laboratories and X-ray department and radiological services. Okay? So mahabang istorya yun pag sinama na natin yung binasa ko na siya. Mahabang istorya yun, and I do not think that would be asked in the board exam. Okay? Now, the scope of the services offered to BHFS according to AO 20007 all of the following except for three things: AFB screening, malarial smear, and screening for STDs and cervical cancers or pap smears. Okay? All clinical laboratories except governing lab performing microscopy works for the DHS. So, lahat yan pwedeng gawin except lang tong mga to. Okay? Alright? Okay? Clear? Clear? All clinical laboratories. Okay? All clinical laboratories in the Philippines are regulated by BHFS, and they microscopy works for DOH. Okay? Now, AB screening iba ang nun, and malarial screening iba din, and STD screening. So, nakita nyo, pinagkaiba lang ng isang normal na lab na gustong ipatayo ni Gracie is yung mga infectious diseases. Nakita nyo, AFB, malaria, di ba? Or tropical diseases, mga ganun. STDs also. Okay? So, clear tayo? Clear? Okay. Next slide, please. What are the classification of laboratories in the Philippines? There are 4 classifications. Kailangan natin tandaan yung 4 classifications, and under nun meron pa may mga ano pa nun, may mga sub-classifications pa yon. Pero don't forget ownership. Mapasok na tayo sa lab management, okay? We're going to ownership, we're going to function, institutional character, and service capacity or service capability. Okay? So if it's ownership, is it owned by the government or is it owned by a private entity? Now I'm going to ask you, if Gracie and Patrick set up a laboratory, okay? What would be initially what would it be initially categorized as? Government or a private facility? Patrick.
Private.
Private. Okay, kaya nga ikaw ang pwedeng magpangalan, 'di ba? Privado. Okay? Now, paano siya magiging government facility sa tingin nyo? Kung what? 90% ng pondo ay galing sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas or taxpayers. Okay? 90% ng funding galing sa taxpayers. Paano mangyayari yun, sir? For example, na bankrupt si Hana tsaka si Patrick. Winaldas lahat ni Patrick. Kasi sabi ko, bahala ka dyan, Gracie. Kunin ko lahat dito. Yung shares ko naman, 200,000. Tumubo na. Malaki na ang ano ko. Malaki na ang tubo ko. Tanggalin ko na lahat ng shares ko. Bahala ka dyan. Si Gracie, 100 lang yung contribution niya. Diba? So, syempre, mababankrupt si Gracie. Okay? The only thing that she can do is sell it to the Philippine government. Diba? Or sell it to the banks. Diba? Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kaya nga kung meron kayong mga relatives meron kayong mga relatives na nagtatrabaho sa government hospitals, mapapansin niyo isang bangko lang ang nagpapasweldo sa kanila. Ano sa tingin niyo yung nagpapasweldo sa kanila? BPI, sir. Charit. Hindi, ha? Okay. Sino nagtaas ako? Sino nagpapasweldo sa kanila? Patrick. Land Bank. Yes, very good. Galing. Land Bank. Color green yon. Land Bank lang. Okay? Hindi bakit sir hindi Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas? Hoy, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Bangko Sentral lang yon. Yun ang nagmi-mint. Or sila ang nagpiprint na, nag-iimprenta. Pero ang treasury natin sa Land Bank. Okay? Clear? Clear ba tayo? Okay? So pwedeng bumili nun sa'yo for another 100 pesos, Gracie, is Land Bank of the Philippines. Okay? Or kung gusto mo maging affiliate nun, there is some conditions, but that has something to do with health economics, and that is not part of my discussion for today. Now, based on function, it can be divided into a clinical pathology laboratory and anatomical pathology laboratory. Right? What's the difference between clinical pathology and anatomical pathology labs? Sige nga. Advanced review tayo for next week's lecture. What's the difference between a clinical pathology lab and an anatomical pathology lab? Tatanungin ko ang taong hindi ko pa tinatanong. Ever. Hahanap tayo. Yung mga main characters natin, hindi ko muna tatanungin. Tahimik lang muna kayo mga main characters. Okay? Kilala nyo na kung sino kayo. Hahanap tayo ng hindi ko pa natatanong. Gusto ko tong pangalan na to. Lagi ko kasi nakikita to eh. Ryoko Gallardo. Lagi ko tong nakikita pero hindi ko siya naririnig pag nagsasalita eh. Ryoko, are you there? Ooh. Wala. Ang mga main characters natin wala eh. Wala mo nang papalag. Huh? What about Roddy May Samonte? Ayan. Ay, hindi. Nakita isa ka sa side characters ka. Pwede. No. I've seen you already. Renalyn, narinig ko na din yan. No. Thank you. No. I've seen you already. I wanna ask other people who I haven't talked to before. Ito. Hindi ko pa din to nakikita. Si Ninya Rica Magboo. Naku, wala din. Ayan. Ninya, are you there? Ayan. Okay, Ninya, I have a question for you. What's the difference between a clinical pathology lab and an anatomical pathology lab? Map.
And then kapag clinical po, more on yun sa mga test related sa diagnosis ng patient.
Hmm. Well, they're both related for the diagnosis of patients. I don't know what girl. All right, let's move on to the next person. Tulungan natin mga main characters. Tulungan natin mga main characters natin. Sinong pwedeng tumulong kay Ninya? Okay, ayan na, isa pa nating main character. Ngayon ko lang nakita to si Bai. Assalamualaikum, Bai. Bai. Nasaan si Bai? Ngayon ko lang ulit nakita si Bai. Alright. Bai, what's the difference between a clinical pathology lab and an anatomical pathology lab?
Pag anatomical po, yung mga samples po, siguro organs, from organs,
Mhm.
tissues. Tapos pag clinical po, body fluids po.
Very good. Tama. Diba? Tama. Yes. That's the only difference. Histopathology ang pinoprocess ng anatomical pathology. And then clinical pathology is more on body fluids. Very good. Clear. Blood and body fluids. Very good. Ba clear? Based on function. Okay? Ang boss nyo sa histopath is an anatomical pathologist. Okay? Mga nagbubuklat sila ng lamang loob and everything. Ang trabaho nyo is histopath. Okay? Or cytopath kung may kasama mga pap smears. Okay? Clinical pathology, ang trabaho mo is more on hema, micro, blood bank, clinical chemistry, analysis of urine and body fluids, and serology. So, ang dami naman, grabe naman, ang dali naman pala ng trabaho ng anatomical pathologist. Hoy, chill lang kayo, buong katawan yan. Okay? Mas malaki ang sakop nila, buong katawan yung bubuklatin nila eh. And it's not only just the macroscopic version of it, but there's also the microanatomic structures ang pinapakialaman nila. Kaya doon na tayo sa dugo, 'di ba? Mas madali lang nating anuhin yung mga dugo, 'di ba? Okay? Kaya kasi dito sa US may karera. Kaya important na tinanong ko sa inyo kasi may karera dito na PA. Pwede kang maging PA dito sa US. Ano yung PA, sir? Personal assistant o hindi? There's two types of PAs here. A physician assistant. Yun yung diet coke na doktor. Okay? MD diet. Okay? 2 years mo lang iti-take lahat ng subjects ng mga mag-MD. Okay? Sa master's degree. PA ng laboratory is pathologist's assistant. Okay? Ang trabaho mo is mag-gross. Yung nagbubuklat ka ng mga samples. Tapos ilalagay sa cassette. 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters 0.5. Nagtrabaho na kayo nun, Mark? Nag-assist na kayo sa gross? Sa AFP?
Opo, yung ibang interns po.
Okay, 'di ba? Yun yung trabaho nila, 'di ba? Kailangan mabilis ka, kailangan matandain ka, at saka lalo na pag matanda ang pathologist, dapat mabilis kang magsulat kasi sila mabilis magsalita.
Mabilis magsulat, tsaka klaro, ma'am. Ay,
Oh.
sir.
Okay lang yung ma'am. Charit. Charit lang. Okay. feeling ko babaeng prof ang nagano sa iyo kasi ma'am lang naaalala mo eh. Sino kaya 'yun?
Para po kasi yung inassistant, sir.
Anyways, let's continue. Institutional character naman. Anong institutional character? Is it institution-based? Kadikit ba siya ng ospital? Or is it freestanding? Anong example dyan sa Pilipinas ang freestanding lab? Kasi meron akong naalala, tinanong ng estudyante sa akin dati, Sir, ano naman kinalaman ko sa high precision laboratory? Alam niyo yung high precision lab? Nadadaanan yun dyan. Pagsakay nyo papunta ng Quiapo, di ba? Pagbaba nyo ng CMMC. Diyan pa rin ba ang CMCC? Diyan pa rin ba ang... Dadaan pa rin ang Frisco? Hindi na. Iba na ang campus, no? Mas malayo na ng konti sa Mas malayo na ng konti sa Farmers. Ang lungkot-lungkot ko pag mas malayo na sa Farmers.
Katabi lang po.
Ay, katabi lang. Ay, mas mahongga. Katabi lang, sure.
Ay, hindi. Fisher Mall pala yun.
Fisher Mall, hindi Farmers. Malulungkot ako kasi kung malayo sa Farmers. But anyways, yun ang pinagkaiba ng institutional character. If for example, Gagaso Laboratories. Dioso pala. Dioso. Iba yung Gagaso. Gagaso is another student of mine before. Dioso Laboratories was affiliated with, let's say, for example, St. Luke's. Okay, 'di ba? May mga nakikita kayong ganun ng mga hospital, ng mga laboratories, 'di ba? May crest sila kasama nung ano, kasi affiliated sila doon. Pag sinabing freestanding sa Pilipinas, yun yung mga Hypre, 'di ba? Mga ganon. Okay? Laboratory lang sila. Wala silang ibang ginagawa kundi testing ng lab. Yung mga clinics doon nagpapadala ng samples. Okay? Now, let's talk about service capability. Ano ba yan? Ang dami naman, sir. Pag sinabing service capability, is it a general clinical laboratory or is it a specialized laboratory? So, if it's a general clinical laboratory, it's considered primary, secondary, or tertiary laboratory. Okay? Meaning there is limited service capability. Diyan papasok yung mga ganun. Okay? Clear ba tayo dyan sa mga institution? Clear ba tayo dyan sa mga types and categories of clinical labs based on 146 based on 4681? Clear tayo? Wala tayong conundrums or questions or anything. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, scope of services of a primary laboratory. Now, since I asked Gracie earlier, I think Gracie can give us an overview of what a primary laboratory does or what are the scopes and services. Pag ginagawa niyo to, ihahabla natin yung ano ni Gracie, no? Pag meron silang ginagawa na hindi kasama. Okay, Gracie, sige. Ano yung mga test na ginagawa ninyo diyan sa ospital, sa laboratory na pinagpa-part-timean mo?
Ano po, routine BCBs and platelet po, tapos urinalysis,
Mhm.
yung mga ano po, blood chems.
Okay. Routine blood chem lang, no? FBS, no? Yung mga ganun. Mga ganun. Hindi natin nilalang, mahirap yun. Madaming dinaanan ng mga science yun. Hindi natin nilalang, ha? Huwag mong ilalang yun. Marangal pating trabaho yan. Okay? At least hindi ka nag-open ng OF. Diba? Diba, Mark Segi? Oh. Okay. Alright. Okay. Marangal. Ano yan? Okay, so pakita natin kung ano yung mga ano. Kasama ba? Okay. So, majority of what she said was included there. Routine hematology. Nakasama na yung CBC count na. Complete CBC count, kasama na yung mga parameters na yan. Okay. Urinalysis and stool analysis. Fecalysis, FA. Okay. Qualitative platelet count. Qualitative, sir. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng qualitative? Qualitative is kung decreased or increased lang ang ilalagay. Decreased, increased, normal. Yun lang yung ilalagay. Okay? Pero sir, bakit kila Gracie sir ginagawa? Kasi yung mga machine ngayon, hindi na nagre-report ng many at saka ano. Okay? So, hindi natin pwedeng ihabla si Gracie doon sa gano. Yung may-ari ng lab na pinagtatrabahuan ni Gracie. Kasi, wala ka na magagawa yan yung advancement ng technology eh. 'Di ba? Kasama na doon sa result niyo yun, 'di ba? Hindi mo naman pwedeng alisin yung, ano 'di ba? Yung platelet count. Unless na lang, you go to the effort of going to Microsoft Word. Oy, papaalsin natin yung 150 na platelet, palitan natin ng normal. 'Di ba? Which is parang kabaliktaran ng ano, lalo parang lalo ka malulugi, no? Imagine mo nagsuyang ka ng kuryente para lang palitan yung result na nandun na, 'di ba? Okay? Clear? Clear tayo? Okay, secondary lab. I forgot to mention blood typing. Blood typing if it's hospital-based. Okay? If it's hospital-based. Blood typing lang, ha. Mamaya natin pag-usapan yung pagdating sa may Philippine Blood Banking, the blood banking law of the Philippines natin. Mamaya natin pag-usapan yun. Alright, let's go to the secondary lab. Next slide tayo. Okay? Or the scope of services. Scope of services for secondary laboratories. Everything that a primary laboratory can do, with the addition of quantitative platelet counts, cross-matching, gram stain and KOH, routine chemistry. Okay? Sir, bakit kanina kay Gracie walang ano? Bakit kay Gracie mayroong routine chemistry? Okay, secondary lab na kasi siguro sila. Ito na. Okay? I used to work at the tertiary laboratory as a part-timer there. Medyo nakaka-toxic dyan sa tertiary laboratory na yan kasi ang daming test. Pakita natin sa kanila kung anong meron. special chemistry, special hematology, kasama na yung coagulation studies, and immunology and serology. So, nagbibigay sila ng results like T4, T3, T3, okay? FT3, FT4, alright? Hepatitis results, and mostly nagre-require na pwede silang mag-function ng microbiology department. Okay? Because again, the infrastructure size is larger, requirement is larger. Okay? They can do culture and sensitivity. Okay? Clear? Tertiary laboratory. Yun lang. Nadagdag lang si immunology and serology, tsaka yung coagulation studies, special chemistry, and microbiology other than KOH and gram staining. Okay? Now, let's move on to the next slide. So, the next slide is example of laboratories in the Philippines with limited service capacity. So, labs in a dialysis center can do limited services like clinical chemistries lang ang pwede nilang igawa, tsaka CBC. Okay? Social hygiene lab clinics. What social hygiene lab clinics? We don't have social hygiene lab clinics anymore in the Philippines, especially after World War II, as far as my research is concerned. Because dito napupunta yung mga sanitarium. Naalala niyo yung mga patient na may mga ketong. Diyan sila dinadala. Okay, so for example, prior to the discovery of the transmission of HIV, ang mga tao ay pinadadala sa mga social hygiene club, or tinatawag nilang club yon. Kasi nga tinatawag nilang club, open close parenthesis, para hindi halata na meron kang sakit na malala na hindi pa nagagamot ng siyensya. Okay? Mga sanitarium ang tawag doon. Okay? Social hygiene laboratory clinic. Okay? So may mga ganun nung unang panahon. Ngayon parang wala na kasi parang i-isolate ka na lang because of the knowledge about certain diseases, like for example, COVID was nCoV for a couple of months before they gave a name COVID, right? And they found out how it was transmitted and blah blah blah, because sanitariums are no longer welcome in modern day society, 'di ba? They're no longer welcome in modern day society. Kaya wala na yung mga social hygiene labs na yan. Kasi ngayon, mabilis na ma-discover ang transmission and infectivity rate, and basically the whole epidemiological profile of a certain disease can be found out within a couple of hours na. Okay? So, what's the importance of isolating someone from the whole community, 'di ba? Meron naman mga isolation rooms na sa hospital, 'di ba? Clear? So right now, I think the only things that are functional in the Philippines is the lab dialysis center. Particularly, if I'm not mistaken, meron pa rin dyan sa Muñoz. Doon sa mga dumadaan sa Muñoz. Katabi ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Nandyan pa ba yon? Nandun pa ba yon, class? Wala bang dumadaan ng Muñoz papuntang Project 7? Grabe naman tong mga estudyante ko na to.
Ano yan, sir? Nandun pa yata.
Nandun pa yon yung nandun pa yung dialysis center doon. Meron pa papuntang Royal. Meron pang isa doon. Mga dialysis clinics yung mga yon. Si James Paul lang ang nakakaan. Yung katabi ng Iglesia ni Cristo, color blue yung building nun eh. Hindi ko makakalimutan yun.
Nandun pa po, sir.
Nandun pa?
Papa.
Okay. Kasi doon ako nag-apply. Nung may lisensya na ako, doon ako unang nag-apply. Hindi ako tinanggap, kaya bitter ako doon. Wala pa daw akong experience. Tapos after siguro nandun ako sa Saudi, bigla ako makaka-receive ng random na email. Bigla akong minessage. Ha! The nerve! The nerve. Okay. Tapos ang offer lang sa akin, 9,000. Ha! 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 Che. Full-time ang gusto, Monday to Friday. Saturdays pa. Kumikita na ako ng more than 20k nun. Bahala kayo sa buhay. 50 pala, sorry. Bahala kayo sa buhay nyo dyan. Diba? Ganon. Okay? Next. Let's move on to example of specialized laboratories. So, examples of specialized laboratories, ito yung very usong-uso. Nandito yung kasama yung mga usong-uso lalo na sa mga artista. Yung assisted reproductive technology, yung mga nag-sperm banking at saka egg banking, okay? Or sperm washing, When I worked in Saudi Arabia, I didn't know that there was a lot of sperm banks, and would you believe it, diba? Being in a society who's known for strict rules, especially in terms of being strict in general, and the society's frown that were in the society, women are frowned upon. Would you believe it that there is assistive reproductive technology there? I didn't know that. So kita nyo, kailangan talaga nating mag-travel, people. Okay? And then there's also molecular laboratories. Usong-uso din yan, naglabasan yan nung COVID. 'Di ba? Madami ang na-approve nung COVID. If I'm not mistaken, some people here have worked in, or have at least tried to work in one of those, because wala tayong ginagawa, in medtech tayo, 'di ba? Sino nagtrabaho dito nung pandemic time sa mga raise your hand lang sa mga molecular labs na 'yan? Taray. O, 'di ba meron? Si Patrick, anong ginawa ni Patrick nung mga panahon na 'yan? Si Patrick, anong ginawa mo nung mga panahon ng pandemya?
Ano po ako? Call boy.
Che, hoy, nasa live tayo, hoy. This is a family show, or
Call
is it?
center boy po. Nagko-call center po ako.
Okay. Akala ko yung literal na hindi ako maniwala eh. More on siguro manager. Charet. Anyways, si Mark Segi, anong ginawa ng mga panahon ng pandemya? Nagtrabaho ko ba sa molecular laboratory? Di ko in experience.
Hindi, sir.
Palamunin.
Ano lang, swab.
Ano daw? Swabber. Okay. Bali yung pagkarinig ko, ay akala ko akala ko SQ. Hindi SW. Ang pagkarinig ko, squatter. Bali yung pagkarinig. Nakaka-visit ka, Mark Segi. Yung pagkangongo mo, Mark Segi, ayusin mo, Okay. Anyways, thank you. Okay. Now, ano yung stat team? May stat team na lalabas ata dyan. Hindi pa ata na-edit yan. Pakita ka natin. Ayan. Okay. So, laboratories would ask you for stat also. Nice to know lang yan. It's supposed to be done immediately within 1 hour. Mga test na ganyan. Stat team. Okay? Sir, neglectful na ba ako kapag pagka overwork overwork kami sa workforce namin. Understaffed pala, 'yon. Understaffed kami, and then hindi ko na-release yung nire-request ni doctor na stat na handali, nag-isip ako stat na T3, T4. Neglectful na ba ako with my job? For example, you're working in a tertiary laboratory, Patrick, si Bay naman, si Bay. Kasi hindi natin nagamit as example si Bay ngayon eh. Bay, for example, you're working in a tertiary laboratory. You're an RMT na, imagine na natin, Bay, Abo, RMT. Okay? And you're the only one there on your shift, and you receive a lot of samples, like 1,000 samples every 30 minutes. Would we consider you as neglectful in the eyes of the law if you got fired because of one order, T3, T4, na hindi mo nagawa as stat? Would we consider you as neglectful of your duty? Take into consideration also na ikaw lang ang staff, 1,000 samples every 30 minutes. Neglectful ka na ba nun? In the eyes of the law, yes or no?
Ay, sa law?
Mm-mm.
Hindi po siguro.
Hindi, 'di ba? Kasi kasalanan ng under the Clinical Laboratory Act of 1966, there is a need for sufficient manpower. Hindi pwedeng gamitin sa iyo ang 5527. Okay? Pwede silang mag-hire ng lab assistants, 'di ba? Or laboratory aides. 'Di ba? Kung hindi mo kaya, 'di ba? So hindi ka pwedeng makasuhan ng neglect. Hindi pwedeng masuspend And also, in addition to that, ano ang test na hindi mo nagawa? T3, T4. 'Di ba? May mamamatay ba na pasyente within 1 hour kung hindi mo na-release yung result na 'yon? 'Di ba? So ano ang reason kung bakit ka natanggal? Nagalit ang doktor sa iyo. Yun lang ang possible na reason, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Ganon. So pwede ka bang magkaso? Yes. Pwede kang magkaso. Kaso diyan, ang problema nga is ang batas laging nakaano sa kung sino ang mayaman at makapangyarihan. And most probably yung doktor na nagreklamo sa iyo, entitled 'yun. 'Di ba? Pero you can use that. Pwede mong gamitin 'yan. Kanino tayo lalapit? Channel 5 class. Lalapit tayo sa Channel 5. Rafi Tulfo in action class. Woo, girl. Okay? Ganun ang gagawin mo, bay, ha? For example, tinanggal ka nila sa trabaho. Tapos, mag-isa ka lang, 1,000 ang samples every ano. Hindi pwede yon. Tapos, stat ba ang sample ko? Ikamamatay ba niya? Pero, bay, kung same status, same conditions, tapos, hindi mo na-release, potassium, 2.0, diyan ka natin pwedeng makasuhan. Okay? Yun doon ka natin pwedeng makasuhan kasi part ng duty mo, 'di ba? Part ng sinumpaan mo, nasusumpaan mo pala in the future is the safety of your patients. And again, it's still under the Hippocratic Oath. Okay, everything is based off of the Hippocratic Oath kahit na iba ang profession mo. Do no harm, 'di ba? And part of doing no harm is reporting your results, specifically if it's a stat, on time. Okay? Kaya nandyan yung stat team. Okay? So, kaya din nilagay ko dyan yung importance niyan. Okay? Clear? Pwede na ba kayong sumagot sa mga sa mga legal questions ko? Ready na ba kayo, class? Sa mga legal questions ko later? Or hindi pa? Hindi pa, sir. Konti pa mga cases pa, sir. Ready ka na, Mark Segi, sa magsagot ng mga mga legal questions ko about the lab? Okay. Next. Let's go to general laboratory requirements. So, general laboratory requirements natin, don't forget that you have to have what? You have to have a license to operate. Care of whom? The BHFS. Okay? Next, let's see. Let's see the next slide. Okay? LTO. Ano yung LTO, sir? Bakit kailangan namin magpakita sa LTO? Hindi yan Land Transportation Office of the Philippines. License to operate yan. Huwag kayong filosofo. Patrick, alam ko nakangisi ka. Huwag kang filosofo. License to operate yan, ha, from the BHFS. Sila lang naman yung magbibigay ng authority sa iyo, 'di ba? Tapos if the lab is used for teaching or research laboratory, exempted sila diyan. Hindi na nila kailangan mag-register sa BHFS. Bakit? Kasi ang makikialam sa kanila is yung CHED, 'di ba? Kasi under sila ng school 'Di ba? Meron ba nagre-research sa laboratory na hindi under ng school? Sige nga, diyan tayo sa Pilipinas. Sige, meron. Wala, 'di ba? Wala masyado. 'Di ba? 'Di ba? Okay? What else? Special laboratories. A special laboratory also has to register. If it's a physician office laboratory, they have to secure a license as well. Okay? And it's a point of care testing facility, POCT. Diagnostic tests near patient bedside, they need to be licensed also and need to be managed by a laboratory. Meron bang mga ganon, class, na mga diagnostic tests? Meron bang mga ganon na conditions? Yes. Right? Yung mga nasa home for the aged, 'di ba? Kailangan i-monitor yung blood sugar nila, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Kaya kailangan nila or what else? Yung mga yung mga blood banks that operate outside of the or blood service facilities, 'di ba? Kailangan nila ng hemoglobin, ng immediate result for hemoglobin, 'di ba? Hindi sila pwedeng kumuha ng blood kung walang hemoglobin. Alangan pupunta pa sila sa primary lab tapos pakiran naman tong hemoglobin ng donor namin. Tatawid pa sila ng kalsada, dala-dala blood samples, 'di ba? Hindi. Pwede na nilang gawin yun sa laboratory. Pero bedside. But it still needs to be supervised and managed by a licensed laboratory. Kaya nga, usually, yung mga may POCT na yan, kailangan affiliated din sila sa either hospitals or larger healthcare facilities. Okay? Now, there are specific requirements for opening a laboratory. Pakita natin yan. Okay? So, what are the things that you need? You of course need human resource. Okay? Yung mga medtech, saan ka hahanap ba ng medtech? Okay, human resource. Not only medtechs, saan ka hahanap? Pathologist mo, syempre, 'di ba? Pathologist, yun ang resource mo. Human resource mo. Equipment, 'di ba? Meron ba nag-open ng laboratory, wala man ng maski microscope or um ano pa bang ada? Centrifuge, 'di ba? Okay? You need reagents and supplies. Okay? Pwede ba 'yon hula-hula lang? 'Di ba? 'Di ba, Gracie? Hindi ka man pwedeng manghula lang ng ay, feeling ko si Patrick type A. Meron bang ganun na laboratory? Siyempre, kailangan mo ng reagents. Yan yung mga tinitingnan ng BHFS. Di ba? Mel, pupunta ka na laboratory, sabi mo, diabetic ka. Gaganin mo. Di ba? Siyempre, ang hahanapin sa'yo kapag ka i-accredit yung laboratory mo or bibigyan ng license. Siyempre, titingnan kung meron kang supply. Di ba? Physical plan. It needs to be well lit, well ventilated, and there's an ample supply of water. Diba? If it's a primary lab, it needs to be 10 by... Mas malaki pa kwarto ko dito. sa primary lab, Diyos ko, mas malaki pa yung kwarto ko dito. 10 square meters lang ang ano. Okay, palaki siya ng palaki. Okay? So, 20 and then 60. By the way, class, highlight nyo yung secondary lab. Tinanong yan sa one of the board exams. Okay, kung gaano siya kalaki. One of the requirements. Okay? And there has to be administrative policies. Ano yung administrative policies na yan? Paano ka pwedeng matanggal? Paano yung mga late? Diba? Mga ganon. It has to be a professional environment, basically. Okay? Paano ka kikita? Paano ang bayaran mo? Diba? Monthly ba? Or bi-weekly? Mga ganon na or quincenas, mga dyan sa Pilipinas. Ganon yung Ganon yung sinasabing administrative policies. Sino ang boss? Diba? Doon mo makikita yung sino ba ang boss after si pathologist, sino ang chief medtech, ganon. Merong administration. Okay? It has to have that administrative policies. If I remember my health economics if I would remember my health economics, it makes sure that wherever you are, whatever place you are hiring people from, okay, it gives it a sense or an atmosphere of professionalism. Okay, yung hindi katulad dun sa isang in-applyan kong laboratory dyan sa Pilipinas. Sa garahe lang kami in-interview, may aso pa na umiihi dun sa harap ko, tahol ng tahol. Hindi ganon, okay? So pagka ganun ang in-apply, pagka ganun tas in-interview kayo, lumabas kayo ng school na to, nakagraduate na kayo, nakapasa kayo ng board exam. Mag-isip-isip kayo kung in-interview ka sa garahe, medyo ano kaya to? Ano kaya to? Laboratory ba to? Or magtatrabaho ako as lab tech or talagang technician ng kotse? 'Di ba? Ganon. There has to be a sense of professionalism. Meron kang dadaanan na HR, or kung wala mang HR, may office may policy na ito ang boss mo, dito ka magre-report and everything. Okay? Alright? Next, technical procedures. Kita mo na, nakikita nyo tuloy na you guys are having a glimpse of my life there in the Philippines. Talagang kailangan the struggle is real during my time. The struggle is real kasi hindi pa kailangan ng mga medtech nung panahon ko eh. Bihira lang, kaya kailangan mataas ang grades, 'di ba? Okay, so technical procedures. Ano naman yung mga technical procedures? Syempre, Mel, hindi ka nga nang hula na diabetic ang pasyente, 'di ba, Mel? Pero kailangan may proseso naman. Hindi naman pwede yung may reagent kami niyan, gumagawa kami niyan, nagte-test kami ng glucose. Wala namang policy, 'di ba? Dagdag mo, i-dip mo lang yan dun sa may reagent, yung dugo niya. Lagay natin sa test tube, tapos lagyan natin ng isang drop ng dugo, ganon. Kailangan mo din ng procedure. Isa din yan sa mga tinitingnan ng mga accreditors ng BHFS before kayong issuehan ng okay? Before kang issuehan ng lisensya, okay? So, Mel, ikaw yung gagamitin nating example ngayon. Okay? Alright. So, Mel, meron ng procedure. Okay, so kailangan 30 ml ng serum ang 30 UL lang serum ang kailangan, then magda-drop, so nakalagay yun, naka-indicate sa papel yon. Wala ka namang QA at QC. Okay, ano naman yung quality assurance and quality control na yan? Clinical chemistry review yan. Merong policy, okay? Merong policy na nagdidikta na ang mga resulta mo ay accurate or precise. 'Di ba? Paano yon? You always perform QC before running a test, 'di ba? Yun. Meron kayong dossier or meron kayong parang clear book na ang laman ng ginto. For example, nagra-run si Mel. Okay, nakahanap na si Mel ng ospital. Meron na siyang ng laboratory. May equipment. Okay? Hindi sila nanguhula ng result kasi merong reagent. Okay? Hindi sila nanguhula ng policy kasi merong procedures. Okay? Pero paano natin malalaman kung ang laboratory nila Mel nagre-release ng accurate na results? Kailangan merong quality control and quality assurance naman. So, it could be in a form of a clear book, or if you're using a machine, you can ask the manufacturer kung paano ba. For example, Beckman Coulter. Kaya nga kailangan meron kayong communication with the pathologist as well as the product specialist. Kailangan alam ninyo na ang pinapasok nating deal is ganito. Okay? Hindi tayo basta-basta nanghuhula ng resulta. Na okay, meron nga procedure, nag-run nga, pero hindi naman accurate. 'Di ba? Ang normal value sa buong mundo ng potassium is 3.5 to 5.0. Tapos kay Lamel, sa laboratory ni Lamel, dahil 500 times daw nilang nirarun na yan, hindi sila nagko-quality control, pero parehas naman, lagi naman nare-release na result is 6. Ang normal na patient is 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Oh. Well, ito yung lumalabas sa result namin, paulit-ulit naman namin ni-run yan. 'Di ba? Ganon. So nakita nyo kung saan yung step-by-step plan. First, you have to have people, you have to have a building, you have to have equipment, then you have to have reagents. There must be a policy. There has to be procedures. And lastly, before you release the results, there has to be quality control and quality assurance. You have to make sure that if you are trying to open a laboratory or if you're applying to a laboratory, make sure yung mga things na yon nadaanan. There's 7 things na dadaanan. Clear? Hindi yung in-interview ka lang sa gasolinahan. Ay, oo, laboratory. Ako yung may-ari ng laboratory dyan. Hoy, maski yung mga gasolina na binibili ninyo dyan, may dinadaan na quality control, quality assurance, di ba? Before madala dun sa may mga, alam ko yung iba sa inyo, may-ari ng mga gasolinahan yan. Okay? Maski nga yung nagbebenta ng isda sa palengke, di ba? Dumadaan sa quality control, quality assurance. Result pa kaya ng tao. Okay? Alright, next. Next na tayo. Conditions that can what are the conditions to operate a mobile laboratory? Ito naman yung mga nagpupunta sa mga remote areas, 'di ba? Sino na dito nakapag-volunteer or nahatak ng friend na magtrabaho to work in a mobile clinic? Kahit Flebo, it doesn't matter. Wala. Okay. Hana Makasibar. Okay. Hana, kakausapin kita. Okay lang ba? Magpakita ka naman. Nawala bigla. Tama ba yun? Ayan. Okay, Hana. What did you work on when you went on a volunteer trip or whatever? What did you have to help people out with?
More on extractions, sir.
I see. Okay. And is this like a medical mission?
Yung sa may genericas naman.
Okay. So it's more on like an event lang. Tapos may palibre na ganun. Or what? Was it a community or what?
Opo.
Okay. And did you have to carry the blood samples in a container and then you have to put it at the back of the truck? Ganun. Yeah. Okay, so we would consider that as a medical laboratory, a mobile medical laboratory. Okay? So we would consider that as a mobile medical laboratory. Pero Pero, kaya nga tinanong ko siya. Kasi, may isa pa akong question, Hana. Okay? Nagra-run kayo ng test on-site? Hindi. Nagko-collect lang kayo ng blood.
Dinadala po siya sa isang clinic.
Tsaka wiwi. Ganon, di ba? Okay. Pakita nga natin ang conditions ng ng mobile laboratory. Next slide. So, they collect specimens only. Kaya important na itanong ko kay Hana yon. Okay? The job of a mobile laboratory is to collect samples only. Okay? Kaya nga sabi ko, kaya tinanong ko, lalagay nyo lang yung mga blood samples, tapos ice, may cold temperature, di ba? And then, malapit lang pati dapat sa main site ng testing, di ba? Hindi pwedeng sobrang layo, di ba? Okay? So, ang radius niya is supposed to be around 100 kilometer radius. Hindi pwede yung, for example, nasa Nueva Ecija yung site na yung volunteeran ninyo. Tapos ang samples padadala sa Metro Manila. 'Di ba? Parang hoy, hindi ako magaling sa geography pero alam ko lagpas na ng 100 kilometer radius 'yon. Okay? 'Di ba? Take no traffic pa sa Manila, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Ganon. So the mobile labs are only allowed to collect specimens and must be within 100 kilometers of the main laboratory where they're sending the samples to. Okay. Now, let's talk about LTO. Patrick, hindi to hindi to license ng kotse ha. License to operate to. Walang kinala, Patrick ha, puro kakalokohan ha. Hindi to Land Transportation Office of the Philippines. Okay? License to operate to ha. Okay, puro kakalokohan. So ano ba dapat ang laman ng LTO ng laboratory, ng license to operate? Of course, you have to have a license number. The validity should also be displayed. The name of the laboratory, let's call it the Diosio Gas Laboratory. Okay? The owner of the laboratory should be there since Gracie was the one who is the proprietor and Patrick is just the financier. Siyempre, ang ang all rights and the rights to the laboratory is Gracie's, di ba? Kaya nga kanina pa ako gumagamit ng example para alam ninyo. The head of the laboratory is also Gracie. Kasi sabi kanina ni Patrick, ayoko, paperwork lang ako, tsaka tabigilan ako ng 200,000 pesos. 200,000 pesos. Ganon. And then the location is also there. And then the service capability. Is it a primary lab? Is it a secondary lab? Or is it a tertiary lab? Okay? Why is it important to have why is it important to have the location listed in the LTO? Abay, syempre, katulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, nasa Nueva Ecija naka-register ang laboratory mo. Pero nasa Kalakhang, Maynila sa Kalakhang, Maynila naka-display yung yung license ng laboratory mo. Ano ka siniswerte? Hoy, may geographic boundaries yung yung ina-applyan mong laboratory ha. Gracie ha. Kung nasa Nueva Ecija ka ngayon, theoretically lang ha. If you're in Nueva Ecija right now and you applied for a laboratory and you successfully fulfilled all 7 requirements, okay, hindi mo pwedeng dalhin yung license. Hindi, mag-move kami ng pamilya ko sa Kalakhang, Maynila. Hindi mo pwedeng dalhin yung license to operate mo sa Manila. And then just assume na, I have a license to operate my laboratory there. I got it in Nueva Ecija. No, it's not like that, okay? May geographical boundaries pa din siya. Okay? Clear? Clear kung bakit important yung bawat isa niyan. Okay. Now, let's talk about the renewal conditions. The renewal conditions of the LTO. I think that's in the next slide. In order for you to renew the laboratory for another round, okay, a non-hospital based laboratory can renew it between the months of November or October. Okay? Parang sa bahay lang, yung amilyar. Diba? Binabayaran siya before the end of the year. So sa laboratory, non-hospital based laboratories, it's around October, sorry. It's around October 10 or 11 of the month. 11th of the year. Okay? So Bakit non-hospital based lang, sir? Kasi ang laboratory na hospital based kasama na ang renewal ng license to operate kapag kasama si whole hospital. Okay? So kaya ang sinama ko lang dyan is non-hospital based labs. Okay? So, abangan lagi na si High Precision nagpaparenew yan somewhere around October or November. Okay? The processing of the processing of renewal should be done not later than 5 days rather after expiration. Grabe naman ang tindi naman nung after ano. Ang tindi naman nung 5 minutes, yung pagpatak ng 5 minutes. Hindi. Okay? So clear tayo dyan kung ano yung mga conditions for non-hospital based, October or November lang. And then processing should not exceed not later than 5 days after expiration. Okay? Clear? Let's move on to the next one. What is the penalty for operating a laboratory with an expired license? The penalty is, magugulat kayo kaya madaming gumagawa ng kalokohan. Sige, wag mo munang pakita, Moyo. Wag mo munang pakita. Pinakita na ba ni Moyo? Parang pinakita na ni Moyo eh. Pinakita na ba ni Moyo, Mark? Ay, wala na. Ayoko na. Magbibigay pa naman sana ako ng pa-premium. Okay, so fine is around 1,000 to 5,000 lang. 1,000 to 5K. Tapos tingnan nyo, imprisonment of not less than a month. Kaya ang daming gumagawa ng kalokohan sa Pilipinas. Okay? Nakita nyo. Kaya yung ibang laboratory, ay, mababa lang yung 1,500 to 1,000 to 5,000 na yan. Bayaran na lang natin yan. Maggawa na lang tayo ng droga dito. Ganon. Kaya madaming gumagawa ng kalokohan. Okay? Kasi mga laboratories lang ang pwedeng deliveran ng reagents para makagawa ng droga, di ba? Kailangan mo lang ng formula. Hindi ko kayo tinuturuan ng kabalastugan, ha? Tinuturuan ko kayo kung alam paano nyo iiwasan. Okay? Okay. Alright. Let's go on to RA 1517. Noted. Si Bay, ha, wag kang gagawa ng droga sa laboratory. Kahit na alam mo 1,000, ayoko na may magsisend sa akin ng message si Sir Marco. Sabi niya, Sir Manuel, nagpatayo yung isang estudyante ng laboratory. Alam niya kasi 1,000 to 5,000 lang ang babayaran niyang fine. Nasa kulungan siya ngayon, sendan mo ng pera. Nasa kulungan siya ngayon. Kailangan niya mag-post ng bail. Diba? Gano'n ha. Ayoko makakarinig ng gano'n ha. Sa klase ko dapat matitino tayo ha. Wala akong pakialam kahit ilang beses kayo bubagsak. Basta paglabas niyo ng school, mga mga honest individuals kayo ha. Mark Segi ha. Marangal tayo dito. Lalo-lalo ka na, Patrick. Sa'yo ako nag-aalala, Patrick. mga ganyang ngitian, Patrick, pag mga kalokohan. Lalong-lalo ka na, Patrick. Nag-aalala ako sa'yo. Isa pa yan si Valiant. Kahit anak ko yan. Okay. Let's move on to RA 1517. Isa sa mga dapat ninyong tandaan ng mga RA. Tatlo na siya. RA 5527, RA 4688. The other one is RA 1517. Sino makakasagot kung ano yan? Ronelyn? Ronelyn Kahandab or Kajandab? Ang arte ng pagkabasa ko, Kajandab. Ronelyn, where are you? Galawin mo ang baso. Nasaan si Ronelyn? Bahala ka dyan, Ronelyn. Sa iba na lang tayo. Renmar. Sagutin mo na nga, Renmar. Pinapahirapan ako ni Ronelyn, kakaantay.
Blood Bank Law of 1966.
Taray, kompleto pa with year pa, oh. Anak ko talaga yan. Pakipalakpakan ba yan? Pakipalakpakan. Bakit si Patrick lang? Gusto ko lahat kayo. Puro si Patrick lang, ha? Alam ko si Patrick lang kasi yung kulay. Okay. Alright, ang bait-bait. O, diba? Ang galing-galing talaga ng anak ko. O, diba? 1956 pa talaga. It was promulgated in the year 616 1956, 'di ba? Ano yung 6 na yun, sir? June, okay? 1956, 'di ba? Mga panahon ni mga panahon ni ano 'yan? Panahon ni Imelda nung matino pa ang buhay natin sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Blood banking law. Bakit kaya sa tingin niyo pinagawa 'yan? Bakit sa tingin niyo pinagawa ang blood banking law? Sino makakasagot? Tinanong sa akin to ng professor ko dati eh. Tingnan natin kung merong makakasagot dito sa class ninyo. Bakit sa tingin nyo pinagawa ang blood banking law? Ayun na naman si Ronelyn. Ayoko na kay Ronelyn. Nagtampo na ako sa Ronelyn ha. Kay Arian na tayo.
So, try lang po kung naaalala ko yung tama. Ano po kasi dati parang binibenta po yung blood.
Ah, very good. Ang galing-galing. Pakipalakpakan din your class. Main character number 4. Ang galing-galing. Nilagyan na ng number, no? Mga main characters. Sa klase ko, mga main characters. Okay, ang galing-galing. Madaming nagbebenta ng dugo noon. Yes, class, yes. Sa tingin nyo today, may nagbebenta ba ng dugo? Honestly speaking, yes or no? Sige, sagot kayo, class. Iinom lang ako ng tubig. True or false kayo? Do people still sell blood? Do people still sell blood nowadays? PH to ha, PH, hindi sa US. Ay, PH as in PH care. PH yan ha. Yes or no? Yes, 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 yes. True, true. Okay, inom lang tayo ng tubig, titingnan natin. Diyan tayo mamimili kasi kung sino tatanungin ko eh. Okay. Okay. So, ang mabuti ang taong natanong ay dali. Okay. Ang taong maswerteng magsasagot ng aking tanong ay C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Si Lil Zo. Sige, Lil Zo. Pakitaan mo ako ng reasoning. Bakit sa tingin mo nagbebenta pa din ng dugo ang mga Pilipino? And how do people sell blood today? Ayan. malalaman yung blood cartel ni Rizzo. Blood cartel. In-expose na natin sa live stream sa YouTube. Sige, paano sa tingin mo na, bigay ka ng isang scenario kung nasa si Lil Zo pala. Nagsagot-sagot ng yes, wala ka naman dito. Nasaan ka, Lil Zo? Wala. Hindi magpaparamdam. Ayan, hi Lil Zo. Ayan, nakikita ko na din yung mukha mo. Nagtatago ka sa akin lagi. Bigay ka sa akin ng scenario kung paano nakakapagbenta ng dugo ang mga tao sa Pilipinas. Para ma-expose natin yung blood cartel mo na yan. Isip lang kayo, imaginein mo for example si Mark Segi sinaksak ko ng 10 beses. Acute blood loss anemia. Paano sa tingin? Hindi nag-iisip ng krimen si ano. Hindi nag-iisip ng krimen to si si Lil Zo. Sige, Mark Segi, ikaw, sige. Nagtrabaho ka na sa lab eh. Pakitaan mo sila kung paano mag-style yung mga tao. Oh, pero kailangan, 'di ba? Yes. Oh, 'di ba? Ganon. Kaya alam na alam talaga ni Mark Segi yung mga tirada na ganyan, oh. Lil Zo kasi ayaw niyang i-reveal yung secret ng ano niya, yung blood cartel niya eh. It's either you're innocent or you're really guilty that you don't want to show your style. It's one of the two things. Now, my next question is, class, do you think it's ethical? Or do you think it's immoral? Unethical or immoral? Yeah. Is it unethical or immoral? Yeah. Immoral? Grabe ka na mo. By the way, keep in mind, sorry, let's disregard what Patrick answered kasi lakas kasi niya maka-immoral muna eh. Disregard mo muna ha. Pwede ka ulit sumagot, Patrick. Keep in mind yung situation na sinabi ni Mark Segia. Discreet. There is consensual agreement between the two. Okay? So discreet siya. It means there's consensual agreement. It's like, you know, the story of the bees and the the story of the bees and the flower. It's the same thing. It's consensual, right? Okay? So, do you think it's immoral to avail of that person's services or to take blood from that person knowing and paying him let's say how much do people usually pay Mark Segi? Alam ko nakikita mo yan sa hospital. 1K, 'di ba? Oh, 'di ba? Ganon. Alright? So, let's just put it at a mean of 1,000, 'di ba? Now, do you think it's immoral or unethical? Meron bang batas na ano? Meron bang batas na nagbabawal? Ganon. Discreet. Keep in mind it's discreet, okay? And consensual. Sige, sagot. Ang choices nyo lang, class, is unethical or immoral. Or you could say both. Unethical or immoral? Yeah. Bet na bet ko talaga si ano. Bet na bet ko talaga si Kim Kardashian. Immoral pa din. Unethical daw, sabi ni Channel Lu. Unethical daw, sabi ni Gracie. Hanagas. Unethical din, sabi ni Canlas. Okay. Grabe to si Patrick talaga sa immoral. Wala na? Ay, meron ba? Okay. Last na yun si Arian. Okay, let's stop with Arian. Okay. So, I would consider it as unethical. Kasi nga, take for example, lagi ko sinasabi, it is consensual. Consensual. Diba? Both parties agreed to it. That person who's losing the blood is agreeing to it. You could be a donor for somebody. The fact that you're paying somebody, that's the reason why it's unethical. Because there's already a law, di ba? The fact that you're paying somebody is unethical. You could consider that as a gift. Yeah, sure, whatever. Di ba? But it's still unethical. Bakit? Kasi meron ng batas na nakalagay doon eh, di ba? May batas na tayo na blood bank law eh, di ba? Clear ba? Clear. May batas na naka-establish. Pero yet, somebody is still doing it. But for what? But for a cause naman. Okay? Masasabi natin siyang immoral kung what? Lahat tayo dito, bumili ka ng dugo. Lahat tayo na ganon, 'di ba? Lahat tayo nag-react kasi 'di ba? It's general consensus that makes something immoral, 'di ba? Ang pagpatay ng tao immoral, 'di ba? Ang paghahasa ng bata immoral. Kasi lahat tayo alam natin hindi magandang gawain 'yon. Kahit may batas na nakalagay, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Lalapit ka ba sa rapist ng bata, sasabihin mo, ay, unethical yung ginagawa mo, may batas tayo ng ganyan. No, in the eyes of us, even without knowing the law and how much time he can spend in jail, 'di ba? We know that this thing is wrong. Okay? Generally speaking, immorality has something to do with screening whether something is right or whether something is wrong. Okay? It's basically the screening test. That's how I would say how I would do it. If I don't know the law, but I know that something is wrong, that's immoral. Okay? But in this case, there is a law, and we all know what the law is, right? We know we know it's illegal to buy something. Consensually, the person agreed. So it's unethical because the fact that you gave money, that makes it unethical. Clear? Clear, guys? Okay? Okay? I know ang tsaka nung example ko na pangalawa, pero mas magandang gusto ko yung talagang mapapaganyan kayo eh. Para something that will tickle your imagination kasi talaga yung mapapaganyan kayo. Ay, immoral! Ay, ganoon. Ang paghuhubad ni Renmar sa harap ng klase ngayon, mamaya, immoral or unethical? It's immoral. Yeah. Diba? Kasi magugulantang tayo, diba? Ganon yon. Okay, nagulantang ang buong populasyon natin. Out of the 62 people listening in here, nagulantang tayo by hearing by hearing the words coming from my mouth na maghuhubad si Renmar. Di ba? Di ba? Para immoral siya kasi lahat tayo na establish na natin yung sa utak natin na mali yun, di ba? Hindi na meron bang batas na nagsabi na bawal gawin ni Renmar yun? Wala so far, as far as I know here in the US, wala, you can do that for whatever you want. Masasanction ka lang ni YouTube. Di ba? Masasanction ka lang ni YouTube. Okay, cancel yan yung ginawa niya inappropriate for people. Pero di ba? It's like a screening test of saying whether one thing is right or wrong. Okay? So, with that in mind, we're going to the next one, which is the Blood Banking Law of 1956. Tandaan nyo lang, tingnan nyo class, laging sa July, ay laging sa June nangyayari yung mga bagay-bagay. Di ba? Tandaan nyo lang class, di ba? Tandaan nyo, 1969, 621, RA 5527. Oh. Ano yung sunod na dati natatandaan natin? Oh, di ba? Alam na alam. Oh, ito naman isa. Teka lang, ano munang RA 'yon? RA 4688. O, di ba? Okay. Okay, so now let's go to the blood banking law, which was again -2 lang. Okay, it happened on the 16th of June. This time 56 hindi. Oh, ayan na ha. Ayan na ang 1956. Okay? So, blood banking law of 1956. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Okay, sumobra tayo. Ano yun? Ayan. The purpose of RA 7719. Parang napasobra ata tayo. Parang okay, balik ka tayo. National Blood Services Act. Ano nangyari? Kayo talagang dalawa dyan ni Valiant na lumabas. Kayo talaga dyan. Bibigyan ko kayo ng pera para sa internet ninyo next week. Nakakaloka kayo. Okay? Napasobra, di-distract si Moyo sa inyo eh. Hindi siya nakakapagtrabaho ng mabuti. Okay. So, the purpose of what is the purpose of amending RA 1517? This is to make way for the National Blood Services Act. Okay? Which was promulgated in 1994. Ito na lumabas sa si Dick Gordon. Okay? Mga panahon ni Dick Gordon na yan. Okay? Ipasok si Dick sa Senado. Okay, class? Alright? Naipasok ba siya this time? Hindi ko maalala kung naipasok si Dick sa Senado ngayon. Hindi siya naipasok. Kawawa naman. Hindi. Oh, sad naman. Oh my God. Every time pa naman na oh my God. Na blue ball si Dick. Kawawa naman si Dick. Anyways, let's move on to the next slide. Okay? So that's the purpose, to make way for the National Blood Services Act. Okay? Okay. Now, RA 7719 is different from RA 1517. Okay? So RA 7719 is more for the medtechs kasi this is where we work. Okay? Our job as medtech is to promote what? The purpose of this one is to promote blood donation. 'Di ba? One of the jobs, 'di ba, nang ginagawa natin nung nag-duty. Hindi ko alam kung ginagawa ninyo sa AFP, Mark Segi, pero sa amin doon sa pinag-internan ko, after mag-donate ng patient, magbibigay kami ng brochure. 'Di ba? Para sabi, "Oy, balik ka ulit." Or, "Oy, magdala ka ng friends mo." 'Di ba? So dinagdagan yung natawa pa rin ako doon kay Dick. Hindi pala siya nakapasok. Natawa ako. Hindi kawawa naman siya. Bakit? Magaling naman si Dick Gordon ha. In fairness to Dick Gordon ha. Bakit kaya? Manonood nga ako ng old balita kung bakit hindi siya naipasok. Baka may something dyan kasi hindi na ako wala na akong idea sa politics sa Pilipinas. Anong doble bakla ka? Ano yun, hoy? Sinong tinatawag mong bakla? Ah, okay. Yun lang. Napakagrabe naman tong mga Pilipino. Yun lang naman pala. Okay. Anyways, yun nga. So, it also, the reason why RA 7719 was also created was because it aims to phase out commercial blood banks. Ano yung commercial blood banks? Yun nga yung mga namimili ng dugo. Okay? And right na and at that time kasi doon na lang nagkakalat si HEPA, HIV, 'di ba? Diyan na naglabasan yung mga 'yon. Kaya National Blood Services Act. Okay? Now, let's go to the categories of blood banks. A category A blood bank is a blood bank that does 4 things. Health education and counseling, let's show them. Health education and counseling, donor screening and selection, provision, storage, issuance, transport, and distribution of whole blood and packed red blood cells, and compatibility testing. That's a category A blood bank. Okay? Blood bank ha, class. Blood bank. Mag-a-apply pala siya ulit sa 2025. Bet ko yan. Naku sana pwede makauwi naman ako sa Pilipinas. Babatiin, maggagawa ako talaga ng video na ipasok si Dick sa Senado. Anyways, let's go and continue. Sana makauwi ako. Para malaman ko yung mga pangyayari. Anyways, let's continue with category B. So a category B blood bank is different. It does the same thing with the addition of investigating hemolytic transfusion reactions and the resolution of incompatible cross matches. Okay? Resolution of incompatible cross matches. Ano ba yung Sir, hindi ba incompatibility na din yung hemolytic transfusion reactions? Chill lang kayo. Pag sinabing investigation, nakalusot na yung blood sa nurse at saka nakalusot na sa medtech at sa nurse pag meron na nangyaring hemolytic transfusion reaction. Pag incompatible cross-match, nandun pa lang sa laboratory. Okay? Yun yung I'll give you guys an example because I like using analogies. Mark Segi is working as an intern in the laboratory. And he brought the blood bags to the 4th floor, and there was a hemolytic transfusion reaction resulting from that activity alone. Okay? That's a hemolytic transfusion reaction. Now, James Paul, kasi katabi kayo ng picture James Paul sorry, ikaw na naman ang ginamit ko na James Paul works as an RMT in the blood bank. Okay? Has an incompatible result with 2 blood bags. That is incompatibility. Hindi natin in-issue ang dugo, wala tayong ini-stapler. 'Di ba? Okay? Transfusion reaction at saka lahat ng anything with incompatibility and transfusion reactions, yan ang saklaw ng capabilities ni blood bank B, category B, sorry. Okay? Staffing requirements for blood banks. Mapapansin ninyo sa mga hospitals na pinagtatrabuhan natin, meron tayong kailangan na one head, which is either a pathologist or a hematologist, somebody who graduated or who has completed his residency training and fellowship with the Philippine Society of Hematology. Okay? So, pathologist is PSP, di ba? So, internal medicine si hematologist. Okay? So, pwedeng maging head yung dalawang klaseng tao na yon. Alright? And one RMT and somebody who is a donor recruitment officer. Okay? A donor recruitment officer could be either a doctor or a physician, an RN or a nurse, or an RMT. Okay? An RMT. Okay? Mas, for me, actually, a better donor recruitment officer instead of an RMT should be the MD or RN. Sa mga hospitals na nakita ko diyan sa Pilipinas, trabaho na ng medtech ang mag-promote pa din mag-recruit pa din ng donors. Parang sobra-sobra na, 'di ba? Beyond our na siya. Actually, mas maganda din kasi ang medtech, ay ang nurse at saka ang doctor. Kasi they have the people skills. Our job is more on collecting the blood, processing the blood, and blah, 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 diba? We know how to explain certain things. We know when the blood is depleted. But do we, what, do you, did we, do you think, do we really think that, medtechs were trained to talk to people? 'Di ba? Kaya naman daming nagkakaroon ng awayan sa laboratory kasi may ibang patients or relatives ng patients pupunta sa laboratory. Aawayin ang medtech, ang hamak na medtech, 'di ba? Ang medtech naghahalo lang ng ganun, nagaganon-ganon lang. 'Di ba? Ay, pinapunta kami dito ni Dr. ganto-ganto. Tapos ganyan-ganyan, wala naman pala, naubos ang dugo. 'Di ba? Hindi natin ma-explain ang clinical side kasi hindi naman tayo lumalapit sa mga doctors, 'di ba? In my opinion, a better way to handle donor recruitment should or somebody who's better at handling donor recruitment would be someone who has patient or person to person training. Okay? Hindi kasi part ng training natin as medtechs yan. Hopefully if by any chance sana maging part ng ano natin. Pero right now I'm seeing I've seen rather a lot of problems arising from the laboratory because by law pwede ang medtech, 'di ba? Hindi naman part ng training natin. Sana kung mag-a-apply man si Mark Segi as a member of the Council of Medical Technology in the future, okay? Sana balikan mo tong batas na to, ha. Balikan. Or kung may kilala ka, 'di ba? Malay mo maging influencer kayong dalawa ni Hindi influencer, ha. Influencer, nagkakalat ng influenza. Okay? Influencer kayong dalawa ni Patrick, okay? Balikan nyo to, okay? I'm not saying that RMTs are not can't be trained to do that, but from our line of work, hindi siya kasama eh. Parang wala, you have to talk to this patient kasi I was a nursing student and part of the job part of the training is how I was a nursing student for until the 3rd years, and part of the job is how to speak with patients or relatives also. And we never had that unless of course na-modify si Henry's or si Shula. Nakalagay doon, you have to introduce yourself to the patient first when you're doing cross-matching. Wala naman nakalagay doon, di ba? You have to call the floor and tell the patient's relative that you're doing peripheral blood smear. Wala namang ganun, di ba? So, wala talaga tayong training. Okay, but meron akong kasamang staff, kaya hindi ako naniniwala na hindi kayang gawin ng medtech. Pwedeng gawin ng medtech pero hindi kasama sa training natin. Kasi meron ako mga kasama na naging staff, and meron ako naging kasamang staff, magaling magpaikot-ikot, mambola ng mga ng donors. So, 'di ba? Pwede din naman pala. Pero just for your information, there are three people that could staff the laboratory, the blood bank. One is supposed to be head of the pathology. One should be a pathologist or a physician, who's either a pathologist or a hematologist, and the other one is an RMT who will do the tests, discrepancy or the resolving the errors or technical stuff when resolving the errors, and then donor recruitment officer who's either a doctor, RN, or an RMT. Okay, now let's talk about the difference between category A and category B when it comes to staffing plan. Okay? So, staffing plan, there's supposed to be 5 RMTs for somebody who is 4 RMTs who's working in the category A lab. Okay? So, bakit kailangan? By law talaga, sir, kailangan. Yes. Makikita nyo siya pagka binuklat nyo yung libro nyo. And I just picked out the important pieces. I didn't want you guys to remember every section. 'Di ba? That'll be doing you injustice. Okay? So mostly ang tinatanong sa question, ano bang klase ng staffing plan natin? Okay? So usually if it's a category A, the workload isn't that much because you're not resolving errors, right? You're not resolving compatibility issues, right? Or transfusion reactions. So what you have is just 4 people. In a rotary duties. Okay? Someone has to work in the AM shift, someone has to work in the afternoon, one in the PM, and the other one should be off, and they should be rotating. Okay? For category 2, on the other hand, or for category B rather, the second category, it's supposed to be 5 people. Okay? 5 people should be rotating in the blood bank. Okay? These are for laboratories that resolve hemolytic transfusion reactions and resolve blood bank incompatibilities, or donor incompatibilities, or unit incompatibilities rather. Okay? Let's move on to another AO. This is quite recent, 2008 005, Administrative Order 8 2008 0058. This is regulations about BSF. What's BSF? BSF is basically your blood service facilities. Okay? What do blood service facilities do? Well, it's under in this particular um, law. Okay? So there it's separate. Blood service facilities would be separated according to AO 2008-0058 into several categories. Okay? It'll be either based on ownership, institutional character, or service capability. Okay? So all you guys need to remember is that it's almost the same as a clinical laboratory, except for the last one, the service capability. Let's show them what's up. Okay? So there's 3 types: ownership, institutional character, and blood service capability. Okay? So ownership, government or private, you guys already know that. Institutional character, is it hospital based or non-hospital based? If it's non-hospital based, an example of that one is your Philippine National Red Cross, right? They're not hospital based, but hospitals still go to PNRC to get blood bags, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Napansin nyo, class? Wala naman talagang ospital sa Philippine National Red Cross, 'di ba? Taga-tako lang sila ng dugo. Okay? Now, what you need to remember is the service capability. Wala tayong primary, secondary, and tertiary dito. We have a blood station, we have a blood collection unit, a blood bank, and a blood center. Okay? Those are the 4 types of blood banks based on the AO 2008 0058. Okay? 0058. 2008 0058. Now, what's a blood station? A blood station just stores blood. Okay? This could be the branches of Philippine National Red Cross. Okay? This could be the branches of Philippine National Red Cross. Yung mga outliers like peer. Diba? Kasi yun yung mga tinatawagan ko. Naalala ko pa nung intern ako. Lagi akong pinapatawag dyan eh. Hindi ko alam kung pinatawag na kayo Mark Segia, pero kami nung intern kami. Dahil natutok ko si Klase Ma'am, tapos wala naman kaming ibang maitulong. O ito, tumawag ka dito sa mga number na to. Ang mga tinatawagan ko sa peer. PNRC peer, PNB Quiapo. Saan pa yung isa? Pero 3 yun tinatawagan ko lagi eh. And usually nagbibigay sila ng dugo kung meron naman. Okay? So, yun. Yun lang ang trabaho nila, magtago ng blood na ganun. Wala silang ibang ginagawa. Okay? So, a blood collection unit is basically they collect the blood sample but they give it to PNRC. Yung mga branches ng PNRC. Okay? This could be what? This could be health centers that do blood drives. 'Di ba? Yung mga volunteer, mga medical mga medical mission na mga ganyan, 'di ba? Nakikita nyo 'di ba may mga medical mission na may mga blood donation ganon. Okay? So they could be affiliated again with PNRC. Doon nila pinibigay yung mga blood bags sa PNRC. Ano na naman yung PNRC na yan? Philippine National Red Cross. Mga mga produkto ni Dino, Mark Segi Dino. Okay? Kaya kailangan nating ipasok si Dick ulit, ha? Hindi pwedeng nasa labas lang siya. Okay? Kailangan natin siyang ipasok. Okay? Anyways, the third category, puro kakalokohan, basta yung mga kalokohan talaga, Mark Segi, ha? Dinadamay mo yung anak ko sa si Renmar Canlas, ha? Wala pang yan, wala pang kamuang-muang yan sa mundong ito. Hindi pa nga niya alam yung stories of the birds and the bees. Diba? Okay? So anyways, Blood bank is the third one. The reason why this is special is because this can function as a blood collection unit, but with additional services. It can do blood typing, it can do cross-matching, it can do the Coombs test. Diba? Coombs test. Para for what? Tinuro ko na sa inyo, diba, last time? They do Coombs test for what? What? Come on, people. Nakalimutan na. In vitro sensitization to determine if there is a risk of HDFN, di ba? What else can we use Coombs test for? Weak D testing, di ba? Class, nakalimutan nyo na. My God, nag-aalala talaga ako para sa exam ninyo, class. Class. Okay. Alright. Nag-aalala talaga ako, class, na wag kayong ganyan. Cross-matching. Okay, hindi ko ata na ituro sa inyo cross-matching. I will take the opportunity to teach you guys how to do cross-matching. We have two types. We don't do minor cross-match anymore because it's obsolete. Okay? But what we do is major cross-match. How do we do major cross-match? Patient serum plus donor RBCs. Always, right? Okay? What about if we're receiving plasma products like platelets, platelet-rich plasma? Let me be correct with that one. Or fresh frozen plasma. What do? Do we still do minor cross-match? No, we just do type-specific testing. Type-specific testing. What's type-specific testing, sir? We do ABO reverse typing. Okay? Ganun na yung ginagawa. Diyan sa Pilipinas, hindi ko alam kung ginagawa nyo pa. Pero dito sa US at saka sa Middle East, ganun na. Mantakin ninyo, hindi na ginagawa ang minor cross-match, pero marami dito mga kakaibang blood type. Okay? So dyan sa Pilipinas, hindi ko alam kung anong ginagawa pa ninyo. I'm not sure. Clinically speaking, minor cross-match should not be done anymore because it's only a waste of time. For me, in my opinion, it's only a waste of time. Just do type-specific. If there is a reaction, stop it. Okay? And then we'll relieve the whole thing. We'll just end the whole thing there. Okay? Magkakaroon ba ng effect, sir? Yes. Kung merong that's why you're doing. Kung merong ABO antibodies. If there's none, then whatevs, right? Anyways, let's continue with this one. You can even look it up in the AABB manual. They indicate there, I think, somewhere in the middle portion, because I was bored when I visited the blood bank. I read the AABB manual, and it says there, minor cross-match was in literature is a traditional test that is used for platelets and plasma products, but is no longer performed in modern blood banking. It has is of no use in modern blood banks. Ganun yung literal lining ng AABB manual. Okay? So anyways, let's continue. A blood center. What does a blood center do? A blood center does is donor selection. Okay? And they collect the blood samples. Do they do serology? No. They just collect everything. Okay? Kaya nga blood center lang sila. Okay? Blood center. Donor selection. Can they do ABO typing? Yes, of course. They can do ABO typing. Siyempre, alam dalhin doon ang blood type, di ba? Okay? Clear tayo sa lahat? Okay, let's go to the next one. Maaga ata tayo matatapos today. Magde-debate lang tayo for a couple of minutes and then after that, we're done. Okay, so next. The next one is RA 8504. Who here can give me? This one is a law that is so close to my heart. O, diba? Mel, what's RA 85804? Okay, thank you. That was promulgated in February 13, 1998. 1998. O, diba? Just before Valentine's Day. Huwag nyo kakalimutan, just before Valentine's Day. Okay, Philippine AIDS Prevention and Control Act. Okay? Now, what is the purpose of the Philippine AIDS? What is the purpose of Philippine AIDS Act? Why was it made? How many sections are there? Okay? So, the main purpose of this act is to have national awareness and information programs for people in the whole Philippines. Okay? Because that back then there was really a stigma about gay people when it comes to AIDS and HIV. People who say are gay automatically would be stigmatized into saying, "Oh, you're gay, you probably have AIDS," something like that. Because there was something that was known as greed. Okay? And let's not remove that from reality. That is reality. Even right now, there are still some people who believe that way. And that's the reason why we as medtechs must adhere to the policies, or rather the 52 sections of the AIDS Act. Okay? There's 52 AIDS. There's the 52 sections of the AIDS Act, and that was the question the reason why I added that one. I never really added that one for the blood banking law and the clinical blood bank law, but because they asked that in one of the board exams. Okay? They asked that in one of the board exams. I can't remember which year, but it's somewhere I think sometime around 2015 or 2018 that I asked that one. One student of mine mentioned it to me. Okay? Now, under this law, there should be a Philippine National AIDS Council. Talaga, sir? Ano yung mga yan? Mga may AIDS ba yung mga hindi? Mga ano yan? Mga kawani ng gobyerno yan? Kayo talaga? Puro kayo kalokohan, ha? Mga walang AIDS yan. Okay? Next slide tayo. Okay? Pwede silang meron. It's not a requirement to have AIDS, but again, they are people that are government officials. Okay? Who are what? They are what? They are responsible for the provision of they're responsible for the provision of RA 8504, and there's 26 members of this one. These are all appointed by the president. Okay? These are all appointed by the president. One of them is a permanent chair. They are automatically the permanent chair of the Philippine National AIDS Council, and that is the DOH secretary. Now, in-underline ko siya kasi alam ko every year nagbabago ang DOH secretary. Who's the DOH secretary this year? Si Roque pa rin ba? Roque, sorry. Si Roque pala is yung spokesperson, yung Viot. Si Duque pa rin ba ngayon? That is something that you guys need to remember also, okay? Kasi tinatanong siya sa board exam. Nakakahiya naman, class. You will be coming to the practice of healthcare, or you'll be an allied health professional, and you don't know who the DOH secretary is. Diba? Kapag alala, hindi ko din alam. Kaya buti na lang ako alam ko 'yung nandito sa mga bansa na pinagtrabahuan ko. Okay, so it's Teodoro Herbosa. Okay? Teodoro Herbosa. So it's doctor dapat yan. Kumpletuhin mo yung mga kumpletuhin nyo yung names yung nila, mga titulo nila ha. Kung doctor ba, kung MD ba, kung PhD or kasi baka mamaya idagdag sa inyo. Okay? Kung attorney ba ha, dapat nyo, kung engineer ba, bahala na. Kung hindi ko alam ha, sa staff sergeant Kemerut ha. Huwag nyo baka mamaya, alam nyo naman dito sa Pilipinas, di ba yung mga nagano sa COVID, mga military. Di ba? Kaya huwag nyo kakalimutan yung mga titles nila ha. Okay? Class? So automatically, there are 26 members. Out of those 26, one is the automatic permanent chair. That is the DOH secretary. Okay? Okay, now, let us go to the next slide. Now, according to 8504, according to 8504, somebody needs to monitor the magnitude of the HIV infections in the Philippines. And who is this person? Or who are these people? This is known as what you call the AIDS Watch group. Okay? Ang trabaho nila is to collect data. This is mandated by law also. Their job is to go through every community in the Philippines, whether it's in the highlands of the Ifugao Rice Terraces, or in the islands, the faraway islands of Palawan, even in the darkest forests of Davao and the edges of Sulu. Okay, class? Mula Apari hanggang Hulo. Yan ang trabaho nila, magbilang ng may AIDS sa populasyon. Okay? Mula Apari hanggang Hulo. Okay? Clear tayo dyan sa AIDS Watch? Again, under siya ng 8504. Okay? That's another thing that you need to remember. Alright, now, let's go to the next slide. Now, based on the proponents of 8504, who are the people whom HIV reports are given to? Who are the people who HIV reports whom HIV reports are given to. So you can't just say, for example, Renmar is working in this, sino ba dyan ang gumagawa ng confirmatory testing? San Lazaro, sa Sakel. Okay? San Lazaro ginagawa dyan yung confirmatory testing, yung Western blot testing. Don't forget Western blot, okay? Gold standard. Kakalimutan ha, hindi tayo nagpunta sa infectious disease serology pero kasama yun sa exam nyo. Okay? O, meron na kayong 1 point na naman. Anyways, Renmar's working in Sakel under the infectious disease committee, under the infectious disease department. His main job is to analyze and then prepare reports for physicians. Okay? But according to the law, there are 4 people who can get the results, who are allowed to get the results for HIV or his Western blot results. Who are these people? Sige nga, guess tayo. Guessing game muna tayo. Huwag mo munang i-move ha. Hindi pa ako namimigay ng prizes ngayon. Renmar. Aside sa physician. Okay? Okay. Who else? Other people aside from Renmar? Mel? Okay. Cool. Okay. Next. Who else is there who can get the result? Kim? Okay. So remember, wag natin kakalimutan yung example natin kanina naurat si Mel, 'di ba? Lumabas sa ano, 'di ba? So pwede nating i-report kay Mel yung result niya. Positive or negative man 'yan. Si Mel, ang legal guardian lang na naurat na si Mel ang pwedeng makakuha. Okay? So for example, syempre, wala sa tamang katinuan si Mel, 'di ba? At that time, 'di ba, yung naurat si Mel. Naalala mo yung example natin kanina, 'di ba, Mel? Yung tumakbo ka, sabi ko, gusto ko na mag-resign as ganto. Yung ano natin, tumakbo ka nakahubad, kaya you wanted to be fired from your job. Ano nga yung trabaho na yun? Yung Board of Medical Technologies. Board of Medical Technology, yeah. Okay, so yun, naurat si Mel, meron siyang legal guardian, that could be either his parents, his brother, or whomever. Okay, next of kin, usually it's the next of kin. Okay, next, who else is allowed to get the HIV reports from? Kim? Justice of the Supreme Court or Court of Appeals. During investigation only. Kailangan may subpoena pa din. Okay? Ano yung subpoena, Mel? Mel and Renmar. Kasi wala daw kayong ano eh. Ano yung subpoena? Subpoena is the legal summons. Okay? Pag binigyan kayo ng subpoena, that means that you must come to the court. Okay? Pwede bang isubpoena ang result? Yes. Pwedeng isubpoena ang result. Inanimate objects can be subpoenaed. Okay? By law, inanimate objects like documents can be subpoenaed. For example, may pinatay si Mark Segi. Okay? Na-picturean ni Lil Zo. Pwedeng isubpoena yung cellphone ni Lil Zo. Okay? Pwedeng i-order si Lil Zo na this could be used as a legal proceedings. Failure to follow the proceedings will result to you being filed contempt. Pwede kang kasuhan. Okay? So ganon. So pwedeng kasuhan si Renmar kung for example, binigyan na ng subpoena ang laboratory na bigyan kami ng copy ng HIV result. Like for example, somebody got raped and the only way to find out is if the person has HIV for some strange reason, right? For some strange reason, the judge deemed it necessary, the Supreme Court deemed it necessary to have that Western blot result be part of the legal proceedings. Okay? Pwede bang questionin? No. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng questionin ang Supreme Court kasi nga Korte Suprema nga siya, di ba? Okay? Alright? Next naman tayo. Two taps ha, two taps. Wala na, nakita na. Nabaliktad yan. All right. So that one is the newborn. That one is our Newborn Screening Act of 2004, which was promulgated on April 7, 2004. It's quite recent, right? Last time I mentioned to you guys when we were discussing about G6PD deficiency, it was a recent result. That's why we talked about that last time, right? And this is RA 9288. 9288 or 9288. Okay? Binaliktad ko lang yung ano. Kaya nga sabi ko two top sana, pero wala eh. Medyo distracted yung ano ko eh, yung moderator ko, nandiyan kasi si Valiant at saka si Mark Segi eh. Charing lang. Alright. Okay. Now, let's talk about RA, newborn screening for a while. Okay? So, newborn screening, according to RA 9288, should be done when? Should be done when? There's two cases. Ay, taray talaga ni Patrick. O, si Patrick, palakpakan si Patrick muna before ang ano, para ganahan. Para ganahan si Patrick. Oh. Ayan, Patrick. Ganado si Patrick, oh. O, sige, Patrick. Mhm. And then, ano pa yung isang case? Paano kung ang pasyente nasa NICU? Hindi mo pwedeng ilabas mo. Ayan, taray, nakakatuwa naman. Ang galing-galing naman yan. Ganado ka, Patrick. Ganado, Patrick. Nakapag-Milo to si Patrick. Ay, hindi, nakapag-Jollibee. Bida ang sarap. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about newborn screening for a while. Again, newborn screening, let's go next. There are several genetic disorders that we have to test for when we are screening for, according to 9288. According to 9288, we have to screen for several diseases. And these tests include G6PD deficiency, that's the one that we answered, cretinism or congenital hypothyroidism, congenital adrenal hyperplasia, galactosemia, and PKU or phenylketonuria. Okay? Kaya makikita mo, Patrick, if I'm not mistaken, ang ginagamit yun sa Pilipinas is the DOH mandated one. Yung may 5 bilog. Yung igaganon mo doon sa paa ng bata. Okay? Sa last na pinagtrabahan ko sa MCU, Social 6. May kasama pang iba. May kasama pang, hindi ko maalala yung iba eh. Pero kasama na din doon yung 6 diseases na yan, because at any point of their life they could do something about it. That's the reason why this was promulgated. Okay? That's the main purpose of this one. You could alter a person's life the moment the person was born, okay? And you screened for these particular diseases, specifically G6PD, 'di ba? Kung meron ka ng forehand knowledge, alam mo na ang dapat layuan ng bata, 'di ba? Habang lumalaki siya, 'di ba? Kasi pwede siya magkaroon ng sakit. Phenylketonuria also, you can take medications for that one. 'Di ba? So that's the reason why it's important. A person with phenylketonuria, if left untreated for long periods of time, for many years, can result to mental retardation, which could have been avoided had the parents known the case, 'di ba? Mga ganon ang dapat nating tandaan, class. That's the reason why RA 9288 was promulgated. Okay? Now, let's talk about the last thing. Special stuff. Next slide, please. These are special things that might be commonly asked in the board exam. I think I added one today, just today. Okay? Now, one thing that was asked 2007, according to the old questions, 2007. This was asked in 2007. Let's show them the question. What are the reasons why board exams may be postponed? Ito, maganda to. Okay? Can you guys give me one reason? Renmar.
Epidemic, sir.
Very good, 'di ba? Or a pandemic, 'di ba? Mayroong pandemya, 'di ba? 'Di ba kakasabi ko lang kanina na cancel ang board exam 2020 dahil diyan, 'di ba? Okay? Or public calamity where 25% of the examiners are absent. Examiners, sir, hindi examinees. Sir, examiners yun yung nakalagay dun sa may previous question eh. Sorry ha. So set A and B exam, same questions but different arrangement. Yun lang yung ano. Okay? Parang leakage ko na to sa inyo class, board exam. Okay? Yan ang binigay sa kanila. Okay? Next. So, nature of undertaken, name of establishment. Yung mga ano. Never mind that one, class. I removed that one before. Okay, next. Next slide. Okay, if a pathologist is unavailable, a physician may be qualified to perform the duties of a laboratory head provided that he or she is what? He or she has undergone 3 months of training in any of the following areas: quality control, laboratory medicine, and laboratory management. In any of the 3 areas. Okay? So at least 3 months of training. Okay? A physician. Okay? A physician. So for example, you live in the solitary island in the middle of the South China Sea. Okay? You're the only physician there. You have one medtech there. May ginawang kabulastugan kasi siyempre napahiya na si Mel dahil naghubad si Mel sa harap ng mga tao, 'di ba? So sabi niya, I was shunned by the people of Manila. So he went to the islands, to that solitary island to live the rest of his days there with that one physician. Physician siya ha, hindi siya pathologist. So that physician should have been trained according to the law for about at least 3 months in laboratory medicine, quality control, or laboratory management. Okay? Okay, next. What is the penalty for dispensing, transfusing, or failing to dispose HIV-contaminated blood? Medyo recent na siya, kaya medyo mabigat na ang punishment. It's 10 years imprisonment. Okay? Dispensing, transfusing, failing to dispose HIV-contaminated blood. Okay? That was a question 2017. Okay? Next. Naalala mo pa, sir? Ba't naaalala mo, sir? Kasi yung mga estudyante ko, yun yung mga batch na nag-take sila. Okay? Kaya ako naaalala. Okay? This was from Melody. Okay? Melody Magbuo. O, di ba? Kilala ko pa, naalala ko pa yung mga students ko na nagsasabi. Kaya kayo, pag nag-board exam kayo, mag-share kayo sa akin, ha? Mark Sege, tsaka si Valiant, inad na ako, tsaka si Moyo. Kaya ako nag-a-add ng mga students ko, hindi dahil para mag-chika ako para sa kung anong nangyayari sa buhay ninyo. Gusto kong malaman kung anong tinanong sa board exam ninyo. Okay? Hindi yun. At saka para marites ko na din kayo kung ano na ba nangyari, nakulong na ba kayo or something. Siyempre, i-chika ko doon sa mga professors nyo. Diba? Kasi malakas talaga kutob ko si Patrick talaga. Naku, may gagawin kabulastugan to. Malakas talaga kutob ko, may gagawin kabulastugan to si Patrick eh. Alright, now, let's talk James Wall, wag kang ano dyan, meron ka din kabulastugan gagawin. Lalo ka na hindi ka sumusunod ng house rules natin, bigla ka na lang sumasagot. Okay, anyways, what is done to HIV reactive samples or screening? So basically what we do is we send confirmatory samples to SLH, San Lazaro Hospital, our premier infectious disease hospital, di ba? Premier, di ba? Kala mo premier talaga. No, pagpunta mo doon, ang daming nakaano. ang daming nakapila, naghahatian ng rabies eh. Ng anti-rabies. Di ba? Ganun. Okay? Tingnan nga natin kung tama pa rin ba yung sagot ko. Yes. Send confirmatory samples or confirm to San Lazaro. Or, what was the iteration of this one? The recent iteration of this one? Sandali, iniisip ko, class. Referral, send a referral, repack the sample with a referral request to San Lazaro Hospital. Yun yung current reiteration niya. Okay, next. Basta ang tandaan nyo lang San Lazaro Hospital. Okay? Next. The renewal of MT license, recent additional requirements include the collection of what? CPE units, Diyan ako nang gigigil nung nasa Saudi ako. Paano ako kukuha ng CE units nandoon ako sa Saudi? Okay? Sino ang nagpauso din yan? Isa sa mga tinanong, si Trillanes. Wag niyong kakalimutan si Trillanes. Dahil lahat ng nagtitake ng board exam galit kay Trillanes. Okay? Nakapasok ba si Trillanes ulit sa may Senado? Nanggigigil ako. Totoo? Hindi. Totoo ba? Hindi siya nakapasok? Paki-confirm nga pa. Hindi ako pwedeng mag-google kasi pag nag-google ko mawawala. Hindi. Mabuti naman. Nanggigigil ako sa kanya. Pero huli na na-accept na yung law ng pinagawa niya Okay. Next. Define contract tracing. Mali yung spelling ko ng units, hindi unites yan na units yan na. Wala yung E. Okay? Define contract tracing. Ay, naku, napakadali lang nito. Post-pandemic to kasi last time na tinuro ko to, wala pa pandemya nun. Yung time nila Define contact tracing. Naku, napakadali lang yan. Okay, Kim Angelica. In recent years, pwede bang alisin natin yung sexual partner and people with the disease? 'Di ba pwede? Specifically for COVID, 'di ba? We still do contact tracing, 'di ba? For example, lumabas si Mark Segi, he has the signs and symptoms of COVID-19. He went to the market, specifically to which part of the market ba? The pork seller. And then he went to the vegetable merchandiser. And then he went to the police station kasi magpo-post siya ng bail kay Patrick. 'Di ba? That's considered as contact tracing, 'di ba? Yung lahat ng tao dun sa palengke at that time na nakakontak kay Mark Segi, sino pa? Yung mga tao sa presinto na kasama din ni Patrick. I don't know how you got there. The child is your business. It's your business. Might be selling drugs or whatever. But no, I'm just kidding. Okay? Just kidding. Pinapasaya ko lang ang ano ninyo. Ang ano nyo. Kasi inaantok na ako, class. Alam niyo yun, 12 a.m. na dito. Kaya kailangan may active ako ha. Hindi sa nagrereklamo. Alright. Now, HIV, next na tayo. Next. Okay, HIV testing na ba yan? Ayan, yan. HIV testing whereby the individual being tested does not reveal his or her identity. This is anonymous testing. Okay? This is also, again, under the MedTech law. The HIV law. Okay? Alright, next. Providing high-risk reduction, information, and emotional support to the person who submitted to HIV testing is termed simply as post-test counseling. Say, for example, I went to the hospital. I got my sample subjected to HIV testing. I tested positive for the screening test. They sent me to San Lazaro. I tested positive also with the screening test. Somebody there, as required by the law, needs to counsel me. Okay? So somebody's job there is to counsel me. That person could either be a medtech, a doctor, or could be a social worker. Okay? Clear? Okay, next. Hindi nasama yun dyan kasi. Alright, ito yung recent na dagdag ko. Persons who frequent certain activities with increased risk of transmitting and acquiring HIV is known as what? Known as high risk behavior. Okay? High risk behavior. They asked that in the board exam. This was from Abel 2014. Diba? Memorize ko pa yung mga students ko na nag-share. So malay nyo may mga shoutout kayo sa akin after ninyo makapasa ng board exam sa akin. So for my future students. Okay? Next. Drug testing. We didn't discuss drug testing, but one of the questions about drug testing is this one. The maximum number of drug testing labs a physician can handle is only 10. Okay? This could be a physician who graduated from his pathology residency, a physician who was trained for at least 3 months of QC, lab management, and laboratory medicine. Okay, those they can handle 10 so they can handle 10 laboratories or drug testing laboratories, and they must be there to sign. Okay, they must be there in person to sign the results. Okay, now next, who are the possible clients for mandatory drug testing? Of course, kailangan ninyong tandaan yan. Ayan na LTO. Huwag makalimutan ng LTO. Ayan na LTO. Kasama ng LTO, Patrick. Okay? Kasama na dyan ng LTO. If you are an applicant for driver's license, you are required to submit your sample for drug testing. If you're a person who is applying for firearms, next slide. If you're a person who is working in the government under the following agencies, the military, the police, or law enforcement, or a person with a criminal offense, or a person who is going to work for public office, you have to submit a drug test result. This is mandatory. Hindi pwedeng, no, I live in a country free of speech, blah, blah, blah. This is democracy, kemerut, kemerut. No. These are people who are given special privileges. Therefore, they have to give up certain freedoms. Okay? People who are given by law, according to our philosophy of man and theory of existence, people who want certain privileges like firearm license and driver's license must give up a certain amount of their freedom in exchange for certain privileges. Okay? So that fits the law of democracy also. That is part of the democratic assembly. So it's not unconstitutional. Okay? Anything unconstitutional is pwede na mag-lawyer si Sir Manuel? Charit. Hindi, ayoko. Mahaba mag-aral nun. Madaming bumabagsak. Natatakot ako. So anything that's unconstitutional, by the way, is something that is opposite of what the Constitution, the Philippine Constitution, or whatever Constitution your country has. Okay? And again, this applies to countries with democracy, parliament, anything except for absolute monarchy. Okay? All right. Now, let's move on to people who should be randomly tested. Okay? According to the law, people who should be randomly tested are students from secondary and tertiary schools, meaning high school and college students. Okay? Or I think starting from junior high there in the Philippines right now, kasi K-12 na tayo. K-12 pa rin ba? Class? K-12 pa rin ba kayo? Okay, K-12 pa rin. Okay. Alright, so junior high. Starting from junior high. What else? Officer or employees of public and private offices, whether it's domestic or overseas. Okay? Those are the people that require random drug testing. So si ombudsman pwede, 'di ba? Pwedeng i-random drug test. So napapansin natin parang nagchuchongke si ombudsman. 'Di ba? Pwede tayo mag-submit ng recommendation or ng complaint sa presidential office ata. Alam ko meron 'yun. Parang napansin ko parang yung signs and symptoms niya parang isang taong nagco-cocaine. Ganon, yung parang ganyan yung itsura ni habang ini-interview. Ganon. Pwede kayong mag-submit ng complaint ninyo sa presidential office ata. Alam ko meron ng inopen si Duterte noon. I'm not sure if it's still available during the Marcos administration right now. But before it's like a town hall complaint thingy. That's why ang daming inayos. Wala na Patrick. Tinanggal na 'yon, Patrick. Kalina pa ba 'yan? Oh, sorry. Okay. So, yeah. So, if you see that some public officials are acting a little shady, they could be subjected to random drug testing, especially if the constituents, who are you, people who are the voters, 'di ba? You have the power to request That one. Kaya nga meron ng impeachment, di ba? Pwede din yun sa random drug testing. Okay, next. Ika nga ng previous President Duterte natin, huwag mong subukan. Masisira ang buhay mo. 'Di ba ganon? Okay? Next. Important details concerning the chain of custody forms. Chain of custody forms, there are four important details that you need to remember. The information identifying the specimen, what specimen was submitted, whether is it serum for mass spectrometry, gas chromatography, or is it urine for colorimetry, dry colorimetry. Okay? Date and time of collection is very important. Date and time of collection is one of the most important things because it can be used in the court of law. Kaya nga may chain of custody tayo. The name and signature of individuals who had custody of the sample during the collection process. Say for example, the laboratory who's going to perform the drug testing is located in Metro Manila or only. The nearest one is in Metro Manila only. The other ones in the surrounding area on the whole of Luzon suddenly closed. Theoretically, okay? Theoretically, it's suddenly closed. The person who needs to be drug tested is a general who's from Subic. The nearest one is in Manila. So anybody who is going to transport the sample must sign their initials, date and time also included, during the whole process. That's the reason why it's called chain of custody. There needs to be accountability every step of the way. Kahit inabot mo lang yan sa courier services. Okay? Kahit inabot mo lang yan sa courier services, kailangan mag-sign sila. Kasi may paperwork yon who the people have handled it. It's an official paper with the letterhead from the Department of Health. Okay? I think it's not the Department of Health. Actually, it's the Bureau of ano nga yun? PIDEA. Okay? Nasa PIDEA yun. Drug Enforcement Agency. Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Okay? Next. The name of the drug testing laboratory is of course included there. Now, validity of drug test results. The validity of drug test results is about 1 year. Okay? It's 1 year. So, for example, Mark Segi, nag-chonky ka ngayon. Na-test natin tomorrow, papatest natin yung chonky tuloy, yung tetrahydrocannabinol. Hindi chonky, okay. Gusto ko lang maging cool, kaya sabi ko chonky, okay. For example, nag-weeds ka ngayon, okay. For example, nag-weeds ka ngayon, na-detect natin yan by tomorrow, okay. So, next year, hanggang next year valid yung drug test results mo. Okay? So that can be used against you for the whole year. Okay? Anyways, that's about it for medical technology laws, and I think hopefully you guys had an enjoyable discussion. We're going to go with our debates because this has been a tradition of mine. And Mr. Flores, Dean Flores na pala siya ngayon. For almost, I think, ever since I started teaching medtech laws. Okay? So, the remaining time, I don't think we have time for histopathology, right? Wala na tayong time for histopath. And I know you guys, your brains are exploding, and I don't want you guys to remember everything. Let's just leave that for next week, no? Let's just leave that for next week. So, we're going to start our debates, and I'm going to give you guys an hour to group yourselves into how many people, and you will have a representative. I think you guys can chat with each other. You guys are friends on Facebook and everything, and you guys need you will be timed on giving your result. You will be given time to think of your answer, or make a rebuttal, or make an initial statement. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. We're going to follow rules of court. We're not if you've watched my previous videos before, or you have an hour to watch my previous videos from before, I've always conducted this with my students, and the reason being is because I want you guys to exit the walls of CMCC, okay, as individuals who know what is right and wrong, okay, and as people who know how to answer questions explicitly towards a specific topic without going in and out of the without going in and out of the subject. Okay? It's also good training also for your IELTS, di ba? Lalo na dun sa mga may balak pumunta ng ibang bansa. By the way, the rules are as follows. Number 1, English lang ang ating English lang ang ating sagot. Hindi pwedeng mag-Tagalog, hindi pwedeng mag-Taglish. Pwedeng wrong grammar, it doesn't matter with me kasi may mga lawyers din naman na wrong ang grammar nila. Okay? Second, you will be given pros and cons. Your group can be given either pro or con depending on what your representative draws. Okay? Your job is to protect your stand. You will protect your stand. Say for example, Renmar Canlas killed a person. You are pro killing Renmar Canlas. Defend your answer, regardless of whether you are pro killing Renmar Canlas or you are con against Renmar Canlas. Okay? Yun yung nyo. You are protect your stand. You have to protect your stand. You have to debate. And don't worry, hindi ako magbibigay ng stand na alam nating lahat na immoral, ha? Wala akong ibibigay dyan na, you're allowed to marry children. Walang ganon. Hindi ako magbibigay ng ganong kalokohan, ha? Okay, yung ganon, ha? It will help you think outside the box. Okay? Alright? It will help you think outside the box. You have to protect your stand. You have 1 minute. You have 5 minutes. Your group has 5 minutes to think of an answer. Or a rebuttal. Mali ata ako ng spelling ng rebuttal. Wait lang. Right click ko lang. Rebuttal kasi. Ayan. Rebuttal. Okay? You are given 5 minutes to think of a rebuttal. You are given 2 minutes. Number 5, you are given 2 minutes for speech. We have how many people in the class? 60 minus Sir Marco. Okay? Minus Sir Marco and me, so you have 60 people, diba? So you have 60 people. Let's go with just 6 groups. Let's just go with 6 groups. 10 people each. You guys can discuss amongst yourselves. You have 1 hour to group yourselves. You can watch the video on how I conducted the rebuttal. By the way, this is for a price that you might like. Okay? This is an advantage for future events that may occur. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what the advantage is. What I'm going to tell you is this is going to help you out a lot. Okay? This is going to help you out a lot. Okay? And don't worry, it could be money. It could be a plus grade. I don't know. It could be a combination of both. Diba? Malay nyo. Right? So, let's start debate 2023 now. Diba? Ang bongga ng natin. Tradition na namin to ni Sir Marco eh. Okay? Class ha, 10 people. You can chat amongst yourselves. You have to select one person. I forgot that one. One person must be a representative. So somebody who the group thinks is the most charismatic. Yes, that person has to have the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. The charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. One person. But that person, should the group win the first and the subsequent rounds, okay? The first and the subsequent rounds should not be used as the representative for the next round. Okay? So isang person lang ang pwede per round. Okay? One round meaning one person loses. So out of the 6 groups, round 2 would be composed only of 3 people, and that would be out of random. And that would be finals. That would be final. The finals night would be only for finals would be, the final round would be for 3 people, and one group would be lucky The other two groups will have to battle it out. Okay? So that's basically it. Okay? Clear ba tayo with the rules? Anybody? Everybody? And is everybody okay with participating with this activity? Kung ayaw nyo sumali sa tradition, it's fine with us. Walang problema sa amin. You may opt not to attend, you may opt not to participate. But I highly encourage you to do so. Okay? Not only will you get an advantage, but you will also get to learn something beyond the scope of what we are teaching you here right now. Okay? So it's both character building and academically an academically relevant topic, 'di ba? Oh. Wala, everybody's willing to participate. Say I, 'di ba? Para syempre it's a debate. Say I, unmute yourself and say I if you want to. Mhm. All right. Okay. All right. Ay! Gusto ko yan. Gusto ko yan. All right. Okay, so it's a unanimous decision. Okay? So it's a unanimous one. Okay, everybody is in participation, ha? I still have 1 minute before I start the timer. So if anybody doesn't want to participate, you are free to go. You can leave. If you have something else to do, go ahead. But you're risking not getting something out of it. Okay? Wala, ha? All right. I'll see you guys in an hour for our debates. Okay. Remember, choose the person with the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, and that person cannot be used twice subsequent rounds. Okay, that person cannot be used twice. Okay, so suppose that you know that your team is going to win, you need to strategize. So debates are both a combination of strategy and charisma. Okay.